We gonna handle this shit like businessmen. Sell the shit, make the profit.
what you want to, what you said you were when I met you. You've got a warm heart, you've got a
with
beautiful
experiment, it's wrong. And that simple statement is the key to science. It doesn't make a difference how beautiful your guess is. It doesn't make a difference how smart you are who made the guess or what his name is. If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong.
Yeah, look, they said that I couldn't do it, so I went and did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, I've been on a what? Mission. Go. Okay, let's get it. Got a little time on my hands like a wristwatch. I don't got time for the brakes and a pit stop. Race through the gridlock, take it like Chris Rock. Right to the chin, still win. Heavy metals like Slipknot. Got the driving, I got tunnel vision. I just hit my stride the way I run the business. I've been making paper like I'm Dunder Mifflin. See the end game, I got one division. Look, I don't ever bother with a critic. Hit him with a chronicle of Riddick. Boom, bottle full of Ritalin. I hit him with a little bit of riddle me this, riddle me that. My bad, fell asleep at the gas. No time to wait though. Elon Musk, I'm trying to bankroll. New Tesla just cause I say so. Electric whip like Ivan Van Gogh. I just did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, I've been on a mission. Okay, let's get it.
I've been on a mission like totally spice. I'm baddie, she bad, but she totally nice. Nails are blue and her toes feel like white. They cumpri niet met jou, dat is zo voor mijn lijk. Die doe it for sure, but
What is up, party people? All right, first things first, make sure my audio is good. I played with settings last night. Usually it was around 2 o'clock, so in the morning, so you know some shit's going to be messed up. So make sure that everything's good. If it's good, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Thank you guys for being here. What's up, Sean Smith? Appreciate you being here, my friend. Today is going to be a very special one. Special in the sense that it's the beginning of something. There's something that a lot of you guys, I know for sure, haven't seen. What up, Lono? So here's a special treat. I'm going to go ahead and let the cat out of the bag already and let you guys know that we are going to be we're going to start going over Flatter Sean, some of his content, because it's there, so why not? What up, Robert? How you doing, sir? And Robert, I remember your comments, my friend. I'm going to get to that because I don't know your stance on our friend, but I do want you to know my stance on that because you questioned it, and I want you to know it. Robert knows what I'm talking about, and I will explain that in a second, but I want to release this great information first about this whole reviewing my stuff. I'm going to start off basically. So the live streams I used to do when I first started, they're way too long to play on here. Think about it. To play a whole live stream would probably take about 3 of these for each one. And that's a lot. But there's definitely a lot of information and definitely a lot of great content from it. I listened to probably about an hour and a half of jumping through, but of a lot of the live streams. So you guys are going to enjoy those. But we're going to watch. We're going to go through at least 2 of my old content. I'm staring at it right now. That's what you guys see me doing. On uploads that I had. The reason I picked these uploads, I try to stay as early as possible. I do want to see a lot of you guys. I do want you guys to see a lot of the progression that I had as a flat earther. I want you to see that I wasn't. How do you say that? I wasn't a 24/7 auto hoaxer type. So don't expect that. Don't. Actually, scratch that, because there's some actual content that you guys will enjoy, and you'll see. It's gonna be fun. Okay. The other thing I wanted to talk about, actually, I'll do it right now. Robert Page. Okay, so in my chat, matter of fact, Trying to think of where I'm at on the screen so I can do this. Okay, there we go. I'm going to pull up the... Perfect. I thought I was going to take that down. Let's pull up the comment real quick. So the comment was... Robert, where are you? Okay, here it is. So, how do I do this? Okay, here we go. Perfect. I was trying to figure out how to get there. Okay, so this is the comment, and I didn't take offense by it, so anyone knows this isn't like that. It says, with all due respect, Sean, you folded like a bad hand in poker when answering the why you trust Duffy question. Your first evidence. He says he's a millionaire. So whatever he says, you're going to believe. Or he's asking, so whatever he says, you're going to believe? We already saw him lie once, and he denied being part of the final experiment. Wait, what? We already saw him lie once when he denied being part of the final experiment. Don't know that. Maybe clarify that for me, sir. Then had to make his apology video. You then said second piece of evidence, but got interrupted, distracted when text came on, and you never came back to this. Why is that? No ammo to defend your stance. Okay, let's go. I responded, but I want to respond publicly because we didn't have a back and forth there. And I know a lot of people want me to publicly say how I feel about this, and I really thought I had. So to answer the first part, no, I don't trust Duffy. I don't trust a lot of people online. I don't trust 95% of the people that I interact with, to a certain extent, because I haven't met you people. There are people I've met. Trust me, there's a different level there. There are people I know on here that I trust with almost anything that's going on in my life. So there are different levels of this. Duffy doesn't fit in any of those categories. So no, I don't trust Duffy. I don't trust Duffy at all. Not only do I not trust Duffy, how do I say this? I feel there's more of a chance that he's going to dip out of this and not actually go than there is that he will go. That's just on past history, with me being involved in Flat Earth, me being around for almost 10 years. It's very common for stuff like this to happen, where someone comes in and is like, I'm going to change the world, hear me roar, and in the end, excuse doesn't happen. Second of all, my issue with the final experiment thing isn't the observation at all. The main thing for me is that, how do I say this without, he's full of shit. If Globers go at flat earthers the way they do because of their stance on the way science is interpreted and understood, then I don't understand the backing that Globers have given him as of late, because trust me, his beliefs in how everything works is almost worse to me than flat earth, because with flat earth, and this is definitely my understanding, with flat earth, I didn't have an understanding of the things, so it took me a long time. It took me almost 4.5 years to start to build an understanding and comprehension of what I was doing and looking at. And once that understanding grew, my understanding of where we lived changed, right? Where Duffy is doing is he's going, all of science is fucking wrong. Evolution is silly. Big Bang is silly. Carbon. This is my favorite part. Carbon 14 is full of shit. Why? Because science says it dates back dinosaurs and our universe and all that stuff way back when. Sorry about that, guys. And because of that, to me, he's bastardizing science. Now, I know there are flat earthers that do the same fucking thing, which is perfectly fucking fine. I don't really care. The difference is that this guy has a lot of hype behind him, and to me, there's no fucking reason for it. And that's, again, just my fucking opinion. I literally just don't, I mean, there's no reason to trust this guy. I know you're typing in the chat. Let me see what you're saying. What's up, Netro? Cool. Thanks for listening, my friend. He denied it with Kingdom of Context, then made an apology video on it. Okay, I didn't see that. The Kingdom one, I didn't see it. Maybe elaborate on what he lied about. Because I, as far as I know, he's always been very open about the fact that he's the creator of the final experiment. But I don't know, so I can't really speak on that aspect of it. But yeah, I did want to get there, and Robert, I did want to definitely get to that point because of the fact that you did respond to me, and I do, and trust me, if you guys hit my comments, I read every single one of them. If I don't respond to it, I didn't want to, but I do read all of them. I promise. So I did want to get that out of the way. Get this screen down so I don't need it. I know you're in Texas here. I will open this in a second. Just wanted to get through this little part with Robert and the stuffy thing, because I do get what you're saying though, Robert, because yes, the last stream, I was starting to get into it and then got into something else. I apologize for that, and I apologize for anyone who thought I was dodging something. But yeah, when it all comes down to it, no, I don't trust Duffy. I don't trust Duffy at all. Based on history and based on his belief and acknowledgement of science. Oh, that's what I was going to say. The way they use science, where science says carbon dating dates back to Earth billions of years. Obviously, carbon dating doesn't have that half-life, so it's not going to be able to give you millions of years. That is their everything. That right there is their everything, because of that, they claim that carbon dating works if you find a fossil and there's organic matter found using carbon. That just means that the organic matter found its way to that fossil. Shit happens. There's more to it, but just understand that they are definitely bastardizing science, where I think the other side, flat Earth, is based on not having an understanding. And yes, there's some bastardization, but I could actually say this for a fact. Flat Earth is more of an understanding with some bastardizing in it. Young Earth creationists, complete bastardization. Complete. I think I got to that part. Cool. Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, we both don't trust him. It's cool. And ground beneath our feet just doesn't opinion of the shape of the Earth. Yeah, but yeah, and I said that the final experiment doesn't have anything to do really with his belief or flat or whatever recreation. In a sense, it's just the guy promoting it, and the hype behind it is where it gets super fucking weird to me. Because like I said, I was gonna do this for this stream, and it ended up getting sucked into the watching my old streams. But what I'm gonna do, it's just gonna take a little time because it's not as easy as I thought it would be right away. Is I want to show how ridiculous this is. I could tell you, Simon Dan, Professor Dave, he's done this probably the most. And there's a couple other names I can't remember right off the top of my head, but that I have seen do their little bash videos on Kent Hovind. And I want people to understand there is basically no difference between Kent Hovind and Will Duffy. If you don't understand that, you can ask me some questions and I'll answer them for you, or just do a little bit of research. But if you know who Kent Hovind is, then you now know who Duffy is and how Duffy thinks about science. So my question was, to a lot of people that I was talking to about this is, would you support Ken Hovind if he came out and did this? Would there be 15 interviews with Ken Hovind about the final? No, I don't think there would be. I think everyone would be like, I'm not trusting that guy. I guarantee you Globers would be the pussies in this situation. I'm not trusting Ken Hovind to go down to Antarctica. What if he shoots? Like, reverse it. That's who you guys are dealing with. Just want everyone to know that. Everything else besides that, all that drama about court, I don't care about that stuff. He was an investor. Investors find themselves in legal situations all the fucking time. He wrote a book. Don't be upset. I wish I could write a fucking book. I can't, so I don't. But the reality of it is none of that stuff has anything to do with the experiment, but his belief, his faith, his everything that he talks about that has all these contradictions of who he has supporting him is the weird part to me. So think I answered that. If anyone else has questions about it, I will more than happy answer that, because again, I definitely do feel that this needs to be said, because it's very odd, all the support. But what I was going to do is show clips of, Professor Dave, Simon Dan, and all these others that talk shit about creation and creationists, and the young Earth creationists, to be more specific, and more specific. So it's very odd that they're in support of this. In support of him. And I want to make something clear. There definitely is a difference between him and the final observation itself, but they are supporting him. They're supporting what he's doing, and they don't realize that they're blindly supporting young Earth creation, because that is what this is about. Okay, so back to the chat. Text says it's not about the court hearings. It's about the reason behind the court hearings. We can talk about that, Tex. I'm about to bring you back. I'm about to bring you into the StreamYard in a second, like less than a second, and I will put the StreamYard link in the live chat so that anyone wants to join can join, and we can have a conversation about it. To the reason we're doing this stream, I've always said this. All right, hang on, let me get to Sean's comment. I don't know. I think they would still support it, John. One of the things I do like is the experiment is going on. Even Jaren's experiment should have support. Jaren going, I think you're saying Jaren going. I'm not sure. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, you guys are stuck in a fucking bubble over at Jim's, man. This is crazy. Like, when so people that don't know, I got back in. Yay, thanks, Jim. But the weird thing is Jim had interviewed Duffy on Sunday. Okay. Text, you asshole. Where are you? There you are. Good morning, Tex. Oh, you can't hear me. Good morning, Tex. No one can hear you because you're muted. Ha ha ha.
There we go. Okay. Sorry, I was watching the YouTube, so there was a bit of a delay. So
I can't stand that. YouTube, like, it used to be able to control it, and I counted. There's at least a 10 to 12 second delay between this and YouTube, and I can't do anything about that. That's YouTube's side, not mine. I have 1 second delay on OBS. Yeah.
Dang.
We'll see.
Okay.
Okay, so you wanted to get in. I said, I'm not a coward.
Before we jump into roast you today, I do want to address what you said about Will Duffy, right? I have always had a very large skepticism against him since he first decided to start this whole publicity stunt, which is what it is. Personally, that's my belief, is that this is a big publicity stunt. No millionaire, no self-made millionaire is going to throw $100,000 to the wind without there being some benefit to him in some way, shape, or form, whether that be his creationist bullshit, whether that be because he is wanting to write a book about it later on, whether that be because he wants to get somebody up in a shady contract and force them to pay some kind of cost occurrence. Either way, when pertaining to his court cases, the reason why the court cases are so prolific and why I think that there is something to be said about them is because of the nature of why the court cases were taking place. When you go and you look at those court cases, there's willful omissions, There's severe negligence. There is laws being broken in both California and another state. And so that track record shows us that Will Duffy does have a less than truthful side to him. We cannot take this man at face value because he has not been transparent. And that's really the only thing I want to say about Will Duffy. You know, personally, I have no qualms against him. It's the way that he approached the community that gives me issue.
Yes. Okay.
So.
I actually 100% agree with what you're saying. The money side, because this is more from what I've been hearing. I don't think he's here to rip anybody off. He's rich, and he hasn't asked for any money. That's probably the most important part. He hasn't asked for money yet. But more importantly, the aspect to me that it's here's the thing. He is a millionaire. Like, he could be a billionaire. I don't know. But he is definitely... what's up, Don? Lono, I will explain that in a half a second. It's sidetracked. Got back on. Here we go. Okay. A millionaire... And remember, he's a millionaire. So this means he has multiple millions. I think $100,000 or a little more isn't much of anything to a millionaire. And in this situation, mainly because this has everything to do and is motivated by his faith. I think his faith is enough for him to spend that kind of money. Because remember, this isn't, I believe in a God and I read the Bible sometimes. Like, remember, this is not the same thing as an average Christian. Young Earth creationists, they have a very I know stance. The Bible told me so is their mantra. His faith is everything to him. Everything. And I think flat Earth, talking about it being in the Bible, or being referred to in the Bible as flat Earth, I think throws a wrench in it. So, what are you sharing in my chat, damn it?
Yep, hold on. I didn't share it properly.
Well, if you share it... Oh, is that the court case stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so, Lono, the majority... I think there's a few of them. They are all related to his investing company that he had when he was an investor. Those are the primary things that people are talking about when it comes to court cases. Nothing like he didn't do something to somebody per se.
He did something to somebody.
No, but
money.
No, but when we say talking about court cases, a lot of people will go, "Did he do this?" And
he didn't go and murder anybody, but
yeah, it's enough that it is a red flag, and I don't think that part he should divulge. I mean, he should know. Whoever helped him get into this doorway should have let him know, hey, how clean are you? Because motherfucker, shit happens here. Someone should have warned him.
If I could interject on that, Sean, I think that it is on the individuals who are wanting to participate in this experiment to do their own research with the individuals that they're going into business with. That's just common knowledge, basic logic, good practice to understand who you're messing with, you know? So that has always kind of been my opinion of it. I don't think Will Duffy as an individual is a bad person. I think that Will Duffy as a businessman has a poor track record.
Yeah.
And I think that this is a manic episode. He got a wild hair up his ass and just decided, you know what, I'm going to blow all my fucking money for no good reason other than the fact that I want to confirm my own faith-based beliefs. And the reason why the court cases are something to be talked about is because it continuously comes up, this idea or this concept of both professional and personal negligence. Because if you look at every single one of these, it's negligence, professional negligence, unsuitable recommendations, breach of contract, breach of fiduciary duties, breach of security laws and regulations. So even if he is not purposefully or intentionally being just a shitty financial advisor, there's something to be said about his track record with personal negligence. I don't think it's a good idea in general to lay all your eggs in one basket. Um, I think it's important to air caution when when you're talking about a money venture.
Yeah. Okay, so in the chat, I'm gonna answer this. Fred Bailey, what's up? Says are not are not all pastors not tax write-offs? No,
Right.
the church would be, or his congregation expenses would be. Um, okay, Texas part of this as well. We have kind of looked for this situation. I asked him. Matter of fact, let me get that interview because motherfuckers, why aren't you? It's gonna be like a Travis thing. No one will understand. Why aren't you watching my shit? It's a long story. It's funny too. The interview I did with Duffy, we had, trust me, everything I'm talking about now, I was thinking about like whether or not these things were issues. So I literally asked Duffy about these things. I asked him if any of this, because by the point it got to my interview, no one had really pressed whether or not his motivation was religious. And so when I got onto it, by this time, between everyone in the little group, we were already investigating. We were already looking to figure out what the problem was. I was ready on my interview to jump in his ass for not admitting it was fucking religious, a religious motivation.
I
Luckily,
remember.
yep. Luckily, he actually, in my interview, first interview he did this, where he actually admitted my motivation is my faith. The link is in the
Your
chat.
face was absolutely priceless, by the way. Like all of the hellfire and brimstone just left your eyes in an instant.
Yes, because I had a goal. I because and this is why it's weird. If so, we had like the little group, me, Tex, and a few others. Mr. Stride, I did it. I did it right this time. We had been talking like from the very beginning, like the first maybe like the fourth interview he had done. We all started getting little red flags everywhere, and so we had been looking through to figure this out. That's how I found his YouTube sermons and all that kind of stuff, and then I found that wonderful. I'm not gonna play it, but I'll just give it a quick show on here.
As you can see, the flat earth ideology is now being associated with the Christian religion, specifically the Bible. If people are told by Christians that the Bible teaches a flat earth, that will all but guarantee they will lose any interest whatsoever in ever reading the Bible or taking it seriously. This is some
Like I said, this is that right there. That is the biggest motivation for him. It's not a money thing to him. It's not a fucking. I don't even think it like. To me, the shape of the earth to him doesn't fucking matter. That's just part of it. That's just one thing. His goal is to save his religion, his faith, and that's why I don't think him throwing money is that big of a deal. Robert in the chat. We can't confirm he's a millionaire, though, can we? I do not have a bank statement in front of me, but I can confidently say he's definitely a millionaire. Investors are known to make money, especially make money and run. People who write books tend to make money. The biggest, you can find his books. I don't think I've seen one. I don't have a link though. They sold. The only thing is they're not. You can't buy them right now. So or you can't buy them anymore. So to get an exact number off, like you can't get like an Amazon number of how many sold because they don't hold stock of them anymore. But I can confidently say he's probably a millionaire.
I mean, it says it in his author biography. He became a millionaire at age 33. Most of his work is about financial concepts and giving financial advice. He's got what, 10, 15 different books and articles. I mean, he's written for Forbes. So he's got enough money that this is a feasible thing for him to do.
Yeah. He's not hurting at all for this.
Yeah. He may not be, balls to the walls, old money fucking rich, but he's living comfortably.
We don't know that because I can tell you right now, rich guys go to Colorado.
That's true. And he's like in a nice suburban area of like Boulder, Colorado, I want to say.
Yes,
So,
that is, and those outskirts are extremely fucking nice.
extremely costly.
Extremely. There was something else I was going to say. Oh, in the interview, I asked him if there was any connection to him in the church. And this is something that, and trust me, this is something I understand. I won't find out until after. Okay. I asked him specifically, because of that clip we just watched, does your church have anything to do with the finances of this? The reason I asked that is because it would be a tax write-off. He'd get all his fucking money back for doing this if it was through his church for sure. He said, and I quote, "It has nothing to do with my church. No money this is coming out of my pocket." That's why I said it has to be a later date, because his church, their funds and everything, that is public records. So we can look and see exactly what they spent last year. The problem is we can't see what they spend right now.
Yeah. Well, so that's what we should do then, is we should just sit and wait and watch one of 3 scenarios of fuckery go down, and then we can come back in a year and reflect on it.
Exactly. And that's going to be a very weird conversation, because we don't know how this will turn out. So like if they go, good. But if they don't go, oh man, I'm going to be bringing up Duffy to every Glover just to laugh at him. It's going to be funny.
It's going to be hilarious. I'm going to take great joy in it. Regardless. It's just going to be fucking funny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Like I said, it is very odd to me, the support he's getting. But it's not odd, because I know that 99% of Glovers don't research this kind of stuff. Don't give a fuck about it. All they hear is the final experiment, prove flat Earth wrong. That's all they hear, and then they ran with it. They don't give a fuck that they are literally chasing and supporting someone who has
we just
more
need to start
far-fetched
calling him
views.
Saint Duffy, because that's what he is.
Mm-hmm.
It'll make everybody happy. The dick riders and Duffy himself.
Damn, Tex. It's funny because it's true. But that's what I'm going on a tirade to find out how these Glovers that are so epically supporting Duffy feel about his creationism. I wish I could get Duffy on here to have that conversation, but I don't know. I have ideas. We'll see.
I would love to speak to Duffy.
Would you?
I would absolutely love to speak to Duffy.
Tex, don't say it. Would you? Because if you would like to, I can make that happen.
I don't know if I'd want it to be public, at least not the first initial conversation. But I would like to discuss with Duffy.
What about a recorded interview?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm going to set that up.
This is the closest you're going to get to me arguing flat Earth. So.
What are you talking about? You're about to watch some flat Earth clips of mine, and if you're not going to debate a flat earther of my choosing, you're going to debate the flat earther that is chosen. That's me.
I'm just going to, be inebriated for the next 2 hours and laugh at baby Sean being dumb.
Oh, that hurts, but it's so true. So true. Okay, so I feel like we can kind of get into this. Hang on, I don't really care about it. If he wants to spend the money, I'm cool with it. Just kind of weird how much food would have that he could buy for starving people in Africa.
Yeah. Yeah, pull a Mr.
I don't.
Beast. That
I, I,
man does so much philanthropy.
I'm not gonna lie. No, like I give very little bits, but I enjoy having fun. I enjoy spending money to do what I want to do. I get that part. I get it. She knows who Gleam is. She ain't gonna debate him. Texas nuts, dude. You have no like. You don't understand. She's been around for a long time, and she will not debate a flat earther. Like I don't think she's had a conversation with flat earthers like that. It's super weird.
No, at most there was like the one time I was humoring Denmark and everybody got pissed because I was like, well, if you think about it from a philosophical standpoint, and of course everybody eye rolls like, oh my god, not this shit again.
Yeah, well, a debate with Denmark is just not. That's not even a debate.
I don't
Doesn't
debate
count.
with Denmark. Denmark agrees with everything I say.
Jeez. So I feel like we should get into. What's up, nerd? Yes, we were talking about Duffy again. I had to answer some questions from my comments, and we're gonna keep talking about him. This thing hasn't even happened yet, so why wouldn't I? Why would I stop talking about it? Everyone's talking about it. The only difference is I'm saying stuff you guys don't like. I'm sorry. I'm truly am sorry for that. But let's get into this. You guys want to see Flat Earth Sean in action?
All right, I'm ready.
I don't know if I'm ready for this.
You're not, but I am.
Dang it, I was thinking about this. What if we watched so much of my old content that I became a flat earther again?
That's what I said last time.
All right, here it is. Oop, why isn't it coming up?
You're gonna reconvince yourself back into flat Earth. It's gonna happen, and I'm gonna laugh.
I would laugh too. Okay, and I want everyone to understand something. I know Sean in the chat, and a few others in the chat. I can't scroll at the moment because I got this up on my screen. I used to text. I want to warn you for this because I know you don't know. You know how my intro is a minute. I think it's a minute something long. It's pretty short.
Yeah. Do you have like a 5-minute intro?
I have a bad intro habit. I used to have a super bad intro habit. Like the music I played before, I used to start my stream a half hour before I planned to. Play only fucking music and then have at least a 3.5 to 5 minute intro. This intro is not that long. This intro is not long, but it is long. But I did want to warn everyone because any of the flat earth content that I have, was either done on a Chromebook, and then when I got OBS for the first time, I went apeshit on editing and being able to have intros. So I just wanted this is an easy warning. But I think let's just start watching. This one is okay. I'll set it up. Okay, so this was very early in flat Earth for me. Very I had just got there. Maybe no, wait. If I was live streaming and uploading, I had been a flat earther for maybe a year, almost a year. I didn't start live streaming until about 6 months, 8 months after I became a flat earther. I was on streams, but I didn't stream or do uploads yet. But this one was primarily, and when I was in my spaces, they lie, and ISS's bullshit, and the footage is bullshit. NASA's footage is bullshit. That's what this one is rooted around. I'm so trying to fucking avoid hitting this fucking play button right now.
I may die of secondhand embarrassment.
No, check this out. If there was a spectrum of flat Earth, I was nowhere near Denmark or Jen. I was nothing like that. Don't worry. I was not that bad. Okay, let's do this. And I just want to make this clear because actually this has come up over the past 2 weeks. And I want to say this again. I've said this I've said this 1,000 times. I have never served in our military, any branch at all. Never. The closest thing I'd ever gotten to military is me and my father had a 15-year civilian contract doing construction on Camp Pendleton. That is the extent of my military career. Okay. Second, the whole frontline soldier, truth army, all this happened because when I became a flat earther, it was at the time when Globers were porn bombing, attacking, and all this shit. And I really felt like it was like the front lines. It was really fucking bad. So, and one of the main things I did as a flat earther was protect other flat earth panels. The panel that I started with, Dreads, You've Been Exposed, what would happen is we'd be streaming, it'd be on the panel, someone would come in, porn bomb, or kick everyone out the panel. So I ended up doing would be I would sit in the back of the old Google Hangouts, and we'd just be sitting there kicking snipers out before they could do something. So yeah, to me, when I was a flat earther, it was very much so this battle, this front line of discussion. So that's where all that came from. I have never been in the military. Okay, so let's keep going.
Hey, what's up, Flat Earth? We've all seen this before. This is the NASA ISS live feed footage. Clearly, something doesn't seem right here. An added curve. Maybe the ISS seems a little bit too high. And at 17,000 miles an hour, I would think the Earth should be moving under it a little faster.
Here's the International Space Station. Yeah, look at that nice big portion of the surface in view. Unfortunately, this isn't to scale. Often imagine that from the International Space Station, astronauts see the Earth like this, but they're just not that far away. From where they actually orbit, International Space Station residents only see about 3% of Earth's surface at any one time. Using special lenses, images can be taken from the ISS that look like circular disk Earths, but the lens is distorting things here. It's fitting much more into the picture. The size of an apple. How far away would the International Space Station orbit? Like this far away? Maybe this far away. Maybe this far away. Actually, it orbits here, 2.7 millimeters above the surface.
Of all of NASA's pictures, we all have seen this one. This is the picture of Earth from the surface of the moon, 239,000 miles away. In 2008, NASA claims to have captured raw footage of the moon transiting Earth from 31 million miles away.
little sneak peek to the next one, huh?
Wow, Sean.
That wasn't that bad.
No. I was saying wow to the fact that you farted.
Jesus.
I heard that shit.
I have no idea what
Not
you're talking
nice,
about.
sir.
Okay, so I want to bring this up because this was, I don't know what the hell are you talking about? Okay, so this was my. I actually remember this upload because it was. I remember the problem was I had zero clue about cameras. I had zero clue about how Zoom works, but this right here, what's on the screen to here, to this part. When I saw that, I went, "Come on!" I remember that was Meatball Moon for months in Flat Earth. That was my favorite. This was a fun upload. That was beginning of my Flat Earth. I wouldn't say I was militant, but yeah. The next one you guys are really gonna fucking like. The next one. Oh, why am I doing this? Doesn't make sense. I shouldn't do this. I don't know why I'm doing this. The next one, I kind of went far-fetched. Now, I want to preface this, and this is definitely in defense of myself. I would say the first half of this next one is Flat Earth. The second part is reality. And you guys are going to notice this a lot when you guys, because again, I was not your typical flat earther. It was not the same situation that a lot of people deal with now. When it came to military technology, when it came to weather modification, that stuff wasn't. I try to keep as much of the woo-woo I thinks out of it because I mean I really take weather modification seriously. Anyone who's new to my channel, you have no fucking clue what you guys have gotten yourself into. When I finish and get my little niche of weather modification research done, I'm going to go full fucking ham. There's so much to talk about. It's fucking amazing. But that is my main thing. So when you guys see these things, just take those things for a grain of salt. I will point those out because why am I doing this, Tex? What the fuck am I fucking doing right now? Why am I doing this?
Just roll with it.
I have never, like, this whole time I was like, am I going to second guess myself? And it's like, nah, this is going to be fucking, I'm so second guessing doing this now. Okay.
Stand face to face with yourself, Sean.
Okay, let's do this. Let's just get the second one over with. And motherfuckers, just understand, I was fresh. I was a baby flat earther, okay?
Hey guys, Sean G. Just want to let you guys know I found a video of them using lasers in the sand.
Okay, I don't. Okay. Why am I doing this, Tex? Okay, I want you guys to understand something. It was months after this that I literally, as a flat earther, started saying this was not true. Okay, I want to preface that part. So when you guys hear this part, I'm just gonna play it. I need to shut up.
Cleaned a fire here in California. Did some more digging and looking around and found out that they were using them in Iraq. They have them mounted on helicopters, military trucks, drones, battleships. They're putting them on everything, and they're definitely using them already. We'll do more digging and see what else I can find, but thank you.
want to say for the record, this part is true. Okay, fuckers. This part, the laser weapons, everything you're seeing on this part is fucking true. And this was from, this is 6-7 years old.
I hope this this video shows a lot of what they're doing with the laser technology, and hit that like button and sub if you haven't.
Okay, that wasn't that bad, right? That wasn't too bad.
I mean, it just looked like a bunch of pictures to me. I couldn't hear anything. Sorry.
Wait, what? Oh, there was nothing. It was just pictures.
It was just clips. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Clips. Got
That
it.
was a bit, yeah. Now, I will say this. Like I said, the majority of that upload was real, or not real, is an actual thing happening especially 6-7 years ago, in technology when I was talking about it. The preface that fires in California were started because of them, I understood pretty quickly after these uploads that was not the case. Only because I learned how fires work within trees and blah 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 blah. I think we'll do one more, and then we'll just rant about how stupid I sounded. But this one, okay. I want you guys to understand something. I became a flat earther for a specific reason. Everyone knows who D. Marble is. You probably don't. We were really good friends. I still have his phone number. I don't think he talked to me though. So back then, there was a big eclipse that happened. And this was when I was on the fence-ish. I wouldn't have came out and said I was a flat earther at the point I'm talking about right now. But NASA started talking about it. I wish I could find that clip. It would be great. But NASA was like, the upcoming eclipse is something of a phenomena. The path of the shadow is doing something different. And I shit you not, they were like, but we don't know why. we're going to make further observations and explain this at, in time. And to me, that was very odd. It was like, I was told when I was around, the eclipses are predictable. NASA predicts them and observes them and all this kind of stuff. And to hear NASA go, we don't know why it's doing this. We'll have further explanation and in due time. To me, was a red flag. It was like, what the fuck? But then this is what happened. In response to us, the group that I was in at the time, finding that upload, D. Marble did an upload. And in that upload, he literally goes, I know exactly why that's going to happen. I'm going to show you how the shadow happens on a globe, and I'm going to show you how that shadow happens on a flat Earth. Hear me out. So this is the problem. And I realize this now, but I didn't then because I was in my find the lies aspect of being a flat earther rather than learn the information. It was very odd that NASA said, we don't know. We'll have to answer that. But then this flat earther, D. Marble, got on a camera, on a live stream, and literally showed us why that shadow was going to happen. And this was on a globe model. He had a little projected little globe on his table, but he showed literally how that shadow was going to do that. And I went, how does that flat earther know fucking more than NASA? And that right there made me go, maybe flat Earth is on to something. That was literally the situation that made me a flat earther. I remember it very, very clearly. I don't know why this is, because like I said, I tried to find these in order. I don't know why this is so far down my upload list, but this was probably one of the very first uploads. I'm going to say this is probably one of the second uploads I did as a flat earther. I have more, but I think I made it and I found it later on or something. I don't know. But yeah, this one has everything to do with eclipses. And I remember very clearly why I made this. The sun and moon things, those apps you can get. So like if you're inside, you can see where the sun and the moon is. Even like on the app, you can like point your phone to it and it would show you where it's at. I'll take that as a yes. I found one of those apps.
Okay.
There she is. Yeah. Okay. So, in my opinion, so we all know how the eclipse works. The moon gets in front of the sun and between us and the sun. I had found a day on these apps that the moon, it was during the new moon, and I on this app was like, there should be an eclipse right now, but there's not. Not only that, they're not even talking about it, so they're full of shit. That's all I'll say about that. I'll go ahead and finish this. This is only 3 minutes.
Were able to catch the last stream I had. I showed an app that I had on my phone.
Yeah, for some reason it's not playing it in the StreamYard, so I have to watch it on the YouTube.
Our eyes and experience tell us the Earth is
like I can see the video, but I can't hear the audio.
I wonder why that is. Hang on. I don't know. That's something I'm gonna have to talk to Demon Stride about at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, so just play it and I'll listen to it from the YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, so when it gets done, I'll give you a little bit before I start pressing you for something.
Yeah.
Okay.
the sky revolves around us.
Lots of different times.
Our eyes and experience tell us the...
I showed an app that I had on my phone that showed the location of the moon and the sun. I took 2 different screenshots of different times.
Our eyes and experience tell us the Earth is flat and motionless, and everything in the sky revolves around us.
So that I took overlaid with each other so that you could see that they do line up. I showed the elevation and azimuth degrees that it's at as well for both sets of screenshots.
There's heliocentric globe Earth chance evolution paradigm spiritually controls humanity by removing God or any sort of intelligent design.
Wherein the sun would be over Australia. They should have gotten the eclipse from what I got, and then later that day, once this I think it was about 10 a.m. I did it again, and got another eclipse. I went outside, definitely didn't see one. Then buddy Travis Cloud sent me a video over, and I mean, take a look. Tell me what you think about what you see.
I mean, this is obvious nonsense.
But if the Earth is just one of billions of planets revolving around that specific perfect sun by their...
Yeah, I thought I had found a fucking sensation on that one, people. It was fucking amazing. I was like, I got it. I did it. Globe is dead. They're lying. That was a favorite one. And yeah, Riggs, that is very true. And it still holds. I'm gonna tell you right now, half the music you guys hear on my stream is Flat Earth music. All three of the uploads we were listening to, those are all music made by my boy Jay Alex. Any of the ones you hear where out of nowhere it'll be like Duke wins. That's my boy Legendary Duke. Most of my beats are from him. Oh yeah, Riggs. Fucking, I'll tell you right now, the best music comes from Flat Earth. Period. Even to this day.
Yeah. So I felt like you were trying to give me a seizure. That's the first thing I want to say to you.
I was very early. This was the very beginning of my editing life. Like this, I'm for sure. I did that edit on a Chromebook.
There is such a thing as too much, sir. There is such a thing.
I was all about the editing.
As far as like what was being said, I couldn't really hear it very well. So I can't really say much about that. The clips and stuff just look like a bunch of shit that you found on the internet and was like, okay, yep, here we go. Confirmation bias.
Yep.
Right
absolutely. Here. Uh-huh. Yeah, so the point was that I had found, because this actually did happen. I remember it. When you look at the app and you hold it up in the sky, you get your phone and you're trying to find it, and then you find it so you know where it's at. This was a day that it was during a new moon, right? So there's no moon. And this is when I was learning about what a solar eclipse was. And, you find out what a new moon is. But in my brain, if any time that moon was in front of that sun should be an eclipse. I didn't grasp how aligned it needs to be an actual eclipse. So to me, if the moon is there and there's no eclipse and they're not talking about it, then their predicting value is crap. The fact that they said that these eclipses were due to this happening, because at this time, I think I was in the I don't know what it is, what causes it camp. I had definitely heard about the black body. I'm not sure if anyone knows about that. That's the invisible body that blocks the sun during an eclipse. Yeah, it's very fucking weird.
When I had that unhealthy obsession with Slenderman, it's the same thing. It's just
not the same thing.
We all got our weird internet fixation. I get it.
not the same thing.
It's totally the same thing, Sean.
Oh, that hurts me so bad.
It's like taking a bunch of Benadryl to meet the Hat Man,
Wow. Oh, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna let that one go. It's just the water off a duck's back. Okay. And these ones I could tell you for sure are very light. I'm gonna call it very Effie light.
Okay,
And
so what
there's so much more.
media look like?
Oh, let's do this.
Let's see some latter Shanji videos.
Let's do so. See, that's the hard part. So let's go to videos, go to oldest. And yes, a lot of my jiu-jitsu stuff is on my page. Very early stuff. Okay. Ooh. So this one. Okay. This one. Okay. I'm not going to play it. But this one. Okay. I want to explain something. The reason, like, remember the whole, I explained earlier why all my intros were like super like FE Frontline, and I have the Truth Army and all that stuff. This is this upload right here. This one is the fucking reason all that started. I'm not sure if you saw it. There's a little in the top of some of them. It says like FE Frontline Mod Squad. It was like the group that was against all these trolls. SEAL Team 6 actually. Or Troll Team 6. I'm sorry. So this is why I got attacked so fast, because I'm a fucking moron. That's exactly what it is. Anyone who knows who Tim Osman is and their band of trolls they used to run around back in the day, this is literally 8-9 years ago. Tim Osman, not Usman, Osman, was like the ringleader of them all. Like, there's a lot of history behind that I'm not going to go into. But he was public enemy number one to every flat earther at the time. And everyone, and mind you, this is the second live stream I'd ever done, ever, with my own live streams. I did the most genius thing in the world. I said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to call out all the trolls. And I'm going to call out their leader, Tim Osman. And I'm going to call him a creepy motherfucker for staring at girls playing volleyball.
That's super smart of you, Sean. What an intelligent thing to do.
Uh-huh. Just so everyone knows, I'm going to fast forward. I got sniped this channel on this one. I didn't get porn bombed. I got sniped. At the time when you use Google Hangouts as the host, anyone in that call had the ability to kick me out of it. And if you kick the host out of one of those, what ends up happening is they get control of your live stream, because you can't end your live stream within any type of any good time scale. I got lucky on this one. They basically just talked a little bit and then ended it. But what Tim Osman would do is he would basically snipe you, take over your panel and stream, and then everything he wanted to say that got muted for normally, he would go through like a 10-minute spiel about how flat Earth is not real. He had what I called troll ethics. Super fucking weird, but it does exist. But yeah, this one I called all the trolls out, every single one I could think of that I had encountered in the short time I'd been around, and it was actually a ploy. I did it on purpose. I found that if I live streamed when all the bigger flat Earth channels that I was involved with were live streaming, and I did something like this, what would happen is they would fuck with me and not fuck with the other streams, the streams I gave a fuck about. So it was a ploy at the time. I was very much a behind the scenes flat earther, just trying to help keep flat Earth from being attacked all the time, which was another big part of why I became a flat earther. I saw a lot of the negativity of Glovers and how they reacted towards flat earthers, and the first thing out of my mind was, is this, and this is why I preface to stop disrespecting flat earthers and shit. You guys are making flat earthers. And this is why, because the first thing in my mind was, if it's so fucking true and it's so obvious, why do they have to be so disrespectful and negative? I don't get it. And that was one of the things that made me a flat earther. Like, one of the biggest factors of it. It was like, I don't want to be on that side. It was very, very irritating to me. It's very irritating to me now how it works.
Yeah, I would definitely say that we are both flat earther allies. I think.
Yeah. I have actually been pegged a flat earth apologist, and I used to think that wasn't okay, but at the same time I realized, oh, so be it. Oh, and
Fuck yeah,
so
I'm an apologist. What does it
so
fucking
people
matter?
understand. I'm pretty sure a lot of people remember that avatar. Yeah, matter of fact, I know this is my very first live stream for this reason. Pete Shea was my very first guest, or very first panelist on my very first live stream ever. Ever. That was weird. He used to actually roll around with them. It's so weird. Okay, okay, we're done. I don't want to look at any more stuff. I got a headache just staring at it on my screen. Oh, that's what I was trying to do. Never mind. Hang on. We were going to look for something. I was going to try to find something that is super cringe. I don't have a lot of super cringe stuff.
Why are you trying to make me cringe?
Because I want. You asked me. You said, because you said those. You said those weren't. Or I said, I'm sorry, that those ones that I showed earlier weren't bad. And you said, well, what about, like, I don't know what you said. It's a medium flirt or whatever. I don't fucking remember. But let me see.
Yeah, so show us like later videos.
Oh,
where you were
okay.
real deep into the flat Earth.
Okay, and okay. So I'm kind of gonna do. I will get to that, but I was gonna bring something up. I know someone's in the chat that knows about this, and I don't know if they're gonna bring it up. But I have no problem bringing it up. I was very open about this when it happened. Hang on. So, there's two things. So the very first one I wanted to bring up is yes, and I know Riggs, you're out there, and knows about this. But do you remember the Las Vegas shooting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I was live streaming when that happened. Now, I have a very, very close connection to this situation. My friend was actually shot during this. His mother actually was calling me during the live stream. So like there were times where I had to take off and stuff. I actually ended up having to end my live stream to go to her house to essentially comfort her. And so people are like, you live in Vegas. No, he lived in San Diego. She lived in San Diego at the time. That was probably the point where that was my first auto hoaxer encounter, where everyone around me was like, that shit is fake. And I went, that can't be fake, because my buddy Alex, is literally laying in a fucking hospital right now with a fucking bullet in his leg, and his mom is literally sitting right next to me crying her fucking eyes out, trying to figure out how to go to Vegas right now. Because I'm not sure if you guys remember, but they shut everything down in Vegas. She tried to get a flight. She was more than willing, because you could see the flights. I remember it like it was yesterday. We were online trying to find her a flight to Vegas. And there were flights, and this is 45 minutes after it happened. Flights went from, I think, probably like $1,000. And this, I don't know what they were before it happened. But we were looking at prices for the next day were like $3-4 grand. And that's not normal. I know that's not a one-way ticket from San Diego to Vegas is not that much money. So they jacked all the prices up. But I digress. But that's what we were like. All this shit was happening, and everyone was like, that shit was fake, this and that. I'm like, it's not fake, guys. And that was the first time I realized that I wasn't going against Globers anymore. right? It was Globers, and then I had to also deal with auto hoaxers, and I had to also deal with people who thought this and that. And I made a conscious decision that I wasn't going to just shut the fuck up, because again, I was doing this for myself. So that was that. I brought that up because I saw Riggs, and me and Riggs have talked about it a few times, and he has never fucking called me a liar. So it's not on Riggs like it's a bad thing. I just said Riggs because we've talked about this. He knows about it. But that was my first time really realizing that I had to think about that. I digressed. I apologize, but I crossed the upload, and I wanted to talk about it.
You're good.
The other thing I was going to talk about real quick, I'm going to have Dan on pretty soon. Me and Dan have had to come to an agreement that there are topics that we will not talk about because we'll fucking go at each other's throats. But there is something that he's trying to do that I'm not even in support of it because I know it's not possible. Where he's trying to bring Flat Earth together. And I can tell you now, remember I was part of this group. This time would probably be, in the time I'm talking about, 7 years ago, would probably be the only fucking time I've actually seen Flat Earth actually try to have some type of unity, and it fucking crumbled. It lasted a few months. There was only a few of us that really gave effort to that. And when I say shit like that, I'm talking, I would literally spend hours just making uploads of like smaller channels, what we consider smaller channels, right? Because the channel we were a part of was big. He had like 20, 30,000 subs. He was getting 100, 200 views every live stream. And I was just a small channel with like 10 views. But we were trying to promote all the people that were on panels. So it was like what we called Flat Earth Unity. We tried our asses off, man. And it's just, it's not possible. It's not possible when you have so many different views, which we're seeing now. Hate to bring the final experiment back up, but the situation like where Jaren's gone, if there's 24-hour sun, there's no flat Earth. And the other camps are like, Jaren, you're fucking out your mind. We'll rethink it at best. Like, there's a lot of that. And that's why it's so difficult to have that quote-unquote unity. But yeah. Oh yeah, and somewhere around here I got porn bombed, so a lot of these are not for months. Like these 1 minute ones, these are all where I got porn bombed. I think this may be one. I remember what I was ranting, but I remember what you wanted me to find. Okay. I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to because I know what part of it happens. I'll play part of a live stream. It's about 10 minutes long though. You guys care? But it literally is me and another flat earther, old really good friend Dre Midas, talking about G-forces and how ridiculous they are. You guys care? You want it? No? Yes? No? Maybe so?
I mean, I'm down to watch it. I can watch it.
Well, because of well, put it this way, of the stuff that I watched last night to play today, this would probably be not the most. Wow, that's not even close. This is full Sean Flat Earth. I am full, like my brain is full Flat Earth at this point. The globe is full of shit. NASA is completely full of shit. Yeah, I'll play the first bit of it just so you can hear what full Flat Earth Sean sounds like. Because you'll get a good read of what type of Flat Earther I was by this. No, this one's only 4 minutes long. It's not that bad. Wait, this isn't the right one then. Oh, I was just playing the one I've already played. I just realized I'm not even in the right area on here. I gotta go to live streams. Oldest. Yeah, see this, so like all these are my live streams from when I was Flat Earth on my Chromebook. So like most of these don't have intros. And then when I used to do intros, I used to excuse me. I made an intro and I used to share a screen, start the streams, share my screen, put it over there, and then play my intro, exit it, and it was such chaos when I was doing it that way. Hang on, let me try to find something real quick. I'm gonna play this, and then I'll play the flat, because like you see all these flat Earth unity things. I'll show you the extent of us trying to get everyone together. But I want to find the one where me and Dre were talking about the gravity stuff, or the G suits. See, it's not here. See, all this stuff is all stuff we're gonna go through. I don't remember which one it was. Oh, I don't. Why am I doing it this way? We'll do it like this. Oh, it's right here. Okay, give me a second, so I can get that over here on the screen. Because I just want to say again. Okay, Torco. I don't know how to say your name. I'm just gonna call it. I'm gonna call you Tater Tot. Anyway, the I'm such a dick. Hang on. Let me do this real quick so I can make. Because I see his name, but like I'm trying to do things, so I can't read it really. So, okay, so I'm just gonna share the entire screen. That'll make my life easier for this. Okay, so he was talking about this. This one right here. Okay, I want everyone to understand something. I was not your typical flat earther. So when I heard bullshit, I fucking called it out as loud as I fucking could. This time, the upload that's moving right now, or the little thumbnail that's moving, says Flat Earth Plain Education. And then even the next one, Flat Earth, okay, the real truth about fuel hoax. Yes, that was the time when Flat Earth started running with the jet liners don't run on fuel. They run on compressed air. I heard everything, but I heard that and I said, "Stop right now! Fuck you guys! That is ridiculous." So I did a live stream about how ridiculous it is and how airplanes work and fuel. How when you go from New York to California, there's a set amount of fuel for set situations, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, that's what that one's about. Yes, I went through all of them. When no trees on flat Earth, was it no mountains or some shit? I forget what it was. I ripped into that one. That's the one that probably aggravated me the most, by far. Yeah. Oh, and then some point I will play my Leaving Flat Earth upload. As embarrassing as that is, I will still play it though. All right, okay, so I'm gonna play this, and this is giving me a chance to actually. I gotta take my dogs out, or let them out. So I'll let you guys just play or listen to this while I play it, and then we'll talk about it, and then we'll see where that goes. Because I'm not done talking. I'm enjoying this actually. So I enjoy this beginning part. Just so you guys know, it's me and somebody else talking about the G forces that astronauts feel. I'm trying to remember, and then just chit chat. I'm not going to play the whole thing. It's only at best I'll probably do maybe 5 minutes because we've done so much. But this is pretty much what I was talking about before when I said I want to kind of go start doing my reviews of stuff. It's not so much the uploads because a lot of my uploads were short. But I want to review and go through the live fucking streams, because that's where the gold happened. That's where all what we call building happened. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it and enjoy at least the first 5 minutes of it.
What up, people? No intro. Just gonna jump in.
What it do?
Got Dre on here. What up, man?
Shit.
Yeah, like I was saying, yeah, like G-forces, like, the experience and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't make any Oh,
What brought that about? What don't make sense about it?
actually, I was like, what happened was I was searching crap and a site called Physics Fact Book. Actually, pretty cool. And I was just like going through there, looking at the shit about like acceleration and all that crap. And then I get to like G forces, and then like I'm reading crap on it, and it's like 6 G's, so 6 times your body weight is like for a few seconds. It's supposed to be dangerous. Could die dangerous.
I was about to say virtually deadly.
Yeah, yeah, and the way they say it's like a like and what is it? It says like the average person can take, or actually that's where it got all crappy. So when I started reading it, it said a trained pilot can handle 9 G's for only a few seconds before it becomes like average person like me or you can handle 5 G's for a few seconds before like the onsets of the dangerous parts start happening.
Shit.
Here's where it gets crazy. So I go to swear to God, NASA's website. They said on launch and reentry, the space shuttle never saw more than 3 G's.
What?
Yeah, never saw more than 3 G's. And now here's the funny part. So like there's a Formula One like stats on it, like a Formula One car, funny the weird looking fast ones. When it's taking a hard turn, those things hit 9 G for it's like a couple seconds. There's the vomit comet. You guys know, right? That thing that stands. That alone has 4.5.
Well, no, the vomit comet's the thing that they do the parabolic exercises where
Oh
they
yeah,
simulate
that's what it is.
weightlessness.
Yeah, my bad. I was okay. Oh, okay. I wrote that down. Vomit comet plane. Vomit comet roll. The plane actually is a flowing negative or a flowing 0 G. So it's like a consistent 0 G's. It doesn't make no damn sense to me.
Yeah.
So I was like, but that was the thing that confused me because I was trying to find out like what and what. How it doesn't make. How are all these things that we can experience are so much higher of a G force than something going 20? What is it? 17,000 consistently, and 25 to leave atmosphere. At 25,000 miles an hour, I would.
You'd be experiencing like massive amounts of G force.
Yeah, like you feeling that shit.
The only thing I can see where somebody could possibly try to justify that is because they'll say, as long as you're traveling straight, you won't feel it. But as soon as you try to turn, you would feel it, which still doesn't make no sense because you would still be thrust back into the seat
And then
or whatever.
And that's where the shit got funny. So I'm like, I was trying to figure that out because the force is going to be different, obviously going up, going down, and horizontal.
All right.
So, like, on reentry, the astronauts would basically feel -2 and -3 G force, which is the limit. Like that's the max that the body can handle. Or your brain swells and all that fun stuff, which they say you can actually explode. I don't know. Damn. Like they said that your brain cavities, your the vessels in your eyes, everything fills up with blood, and if it obviously fills up too much, they say it will burst.
Right.
I thought that was pretty fucking crazy. Then vertical, like takeoffs. Didn't launches. Yeah, see, because it says it feels only three Gs during launch from manned space and rocket.
That's what they're saying. It feels like during launch, 3G.
Yeah, they said 3Gs is max that an astronaut feels. I think sounds kind of bullshitty.
Yeah, that kind of. So, all right. So the max is 3Gs, but wouldn't they experience more than 3Gs during launch?
That's all. That's what it says.
By like,
it says NASA says the astronaut or an astronaut's experience a maximum G-force of Gs during rocket launch, plus G suit, plus training. So that means they feel probably 1.5 G is the suit.
man, that's some bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
How the hell's a suit gonna stop you from experiencing the G-force?
It's I guess the G
pressure or something.
It like So have you ever seen like a video of like pilots doing the doing that thing to counter the G forces? Like it's
I think they're in a centrifuge or something like that, or whatever they call that thing.
Yeah, but it's like a method they called I don't remember. Are you watching the
I know what you're talking about though. Actually, I'm trying to find it.
Yeah.
For some reason I can't.
First video pops up is passing out from the G.
And it probably only takes about 4 or 5, if that.
Here's one. It says 9 years ago. Actually, I can play this. It's funny. Stream flying pilot pulled 11.2 Gs in a Red Bull air race.
I don't know.
Fuckery to me.
Sounds a little fishy. Definitely don't pass the smell test. Yeah, why can't I find this damn stream?
What up, McVice? Me and Dre just chilling, talking about G-forces at the moment.
Who that?
McVice just showed up. Got right now.
What up, McVice?
Yeah, I found one of that. It says the Red Bull guy that did 11 to supposed to be some kind of little heater that comes up when it's about to do it.
Oh, they got a G meter. Yeah, how they have a G meter? That's kind of like South Park having the shit counted up in the corner. You know?
I remember that.
They said that shit like 80 sometimes too. I was like, damn, they getting good.
Oh, so they don't have the little heater while you watch it.
Oh, it's fake, man.
I just don't believe it because Max, I can see. See, you don't even want to hear the record. So, check this. So we're talking about all this shit, all this blacking out at 6Gs, 9Gs, and all that crap.
Mm-hmm.
In 1954, yes, I did say 1954, a guy named John Strapp did 25 Gs for 1.1 second test plane. Like real shit, 25.
Or listen, first of all, if you're doing 25 if you're doing, if you're going fast enough to pull a 25G turn, how can you calculate it in 1 second?
Oh shit.
And you know what I mean? Like it's going to take you. It's going to take 1 second to experience that G force in the first place. How can you know what I mean? It just don't even whatever. I don't know, it don't even sound right.
Uh, I mean, it's not the worst. Oh no, like it's not like it's good or bad. It's just a guy talking about things he doesn't really understand, you know? You know, you made it out to be like you were going to be completely unhinged. You know what I mean? Okay.
So far, what I've heard is actually all like the questions were actually good. There was nothing wrong with having questions there. It was the jump to the incredulity that basically said, "Yeah, I can't believe it, therefore, nah." That was just the only problem. If it was
Uh,
really posed as a
Yeah,
serious
I
question,
fixed.
like how does this happen, then perfect. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question to have, and there are definitely answers to all of it.
And that's what we did a lot. Sorry about that, guys. Everyone on YouTube can hear me now. They what we used to do is what we called a build, where that was the typical live stream that we had, where we would there'd be a topic and then we would just talk about it and we would just dive in and trying to figure it out. Obviously, our understanding of the things were so limited that we really couldn't talk about it, but it was a trying effort. It wasn't like we were just sitting there going, "It's fake," and that's all there is to it. Yeah, so it does get worse, though. It does. I have to admit that it does. Uh, but yeah, but again, my understanding is what was lacking in these situations. It wasn't just. At no point was I ever an auto hoaxer. I don't like auto hoaxers. I think it's a detriment to the uh, truth telling. It makes it very difficult for me to talk. It's my biggest issue with like weather modification. It's my main topic. That is that I put it this way. Totoro here has nothing on me if we start talking about weather modification. I say that confidently, sir. In geoengineering, confidently.
Sure. Maybe. I don't know.
We'll see eventually at some point. I don't want to bore everyone with it now, but I put a solid 10 years of researching into it, on the doom and gloom side and the upsides of it. That topic I truly I understand that like you understand physics and shit. But yeah, it does get worse. It does. I do get woo woo a lot. You'll see. You'll see. We're going to do it. It's going to be a thing. I actually really enjoyed that, as cringe as it was. It was really cringe to me. May not have been so bad. So for you guys, if it was cringe to me, and I think it gets worse, guys can only imagine how much worse it's going to get. Um, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. But there are other things to talk about, and I am not done. Holy crap! We're at almost 2 hours, and I just started. You have no idea. There are things I wanted to talk about, primarily with my friend Totoro here. we had discussed black holes, we had discussed some white hole stuff, and in that conversation, you were saying how you couldn't really, and correct me if I'm wrong, you couldn't, you didn't enjoy the conversation about white holes because they were too woo, so to speak. Am I right so far?
I wouldn't really use the word woo. They like there's some solid mathematical foundation to them, but just because you can solve an equation to obtain something you might call a white hole doesn't really mean that the thing exists. Like there's a whole lot more that goes into showing a physical effect.
Okay.
And I'm just not convinced. Like if an equation says that something's possible, I'm going to say maybe, but I don't have, as long as it's not observed and there's not a whole lot more that supports it, I can't really say that it's solid. I would say it's hypothetical and speculative. That's probably a better way to say.
Then wouldn't you consider the singularity to be the same thing?
In a sense, yeah. So the singularity is more of an artifact. If you want to do it absolutely properly, singularity is more of an artifact of if you take Einstein's equations to the limits. But really what it is when you say mathematically a singularity, that means basically a point where your mathematics reaches a condition where it doesn't really work anymore. And in Einstein's equations, it basically is where the density and curvature of space-time reaches an infinite value. Usually in physics, when you encounter an infinity in your equation, that means something's not right. You didn't correctly solve the thing, because we've never seen infinities in any kind of real physics, obviously. So
Well,
it's more like it's more
as
of
far
a theoretical concept.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Because well, one, as far as I understand, the term infinity doesn't mean go forever. As far as I know, it just means there is no equal sign in the equation. No known equal sign.
Infinity mathematically is not a number. You can't treat it as a number. Yes, which some people, sort of amateurs, mistakenly do. So you can't. It requires a very special kind of dealing with it, and you can't easily, like, you can't add infinities. You can't subtract infinities. It like the math basically breaks down. So you have to be very careful when manipulating those kinds of equations. And one of the things is that Einstein's field equations, essentially when you go to like infinite densities, they start producing weird shit all over the place. And that typically means that we haven't really understood something there. So we don't, like, physicists talk about singularities, but what they mean really is that it's a condition where we cannot really say what happens there.
Okay. So you have stated your confidence in the singularity being a thing.
It's something that's implied by Einstein's equations, yes.
Perfect.
Whether we'll ever have a solid understanding, we're just really not sure.
Perfect. I'm happy you said that, because this is the crux of why I wanted to have this conversation, because Einstein himself, his general relativity, his equations with black holes assume a white hole is involved. Would you like me to pull up I can pull something up so I can read it right to you.
If you mean like the Veritasium video and some, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Einstein's field equations do a lot of things, and they really, what they are is more of a Swiss Army knife, and what you derive from them depends on what you sort of input into them. There's a bunch of parameters that goes in, like basically the curvature of space-time that you enter into it, and it will then give you sort of a state of the system. But it or like energy density and the structure of the energy distribution in the space. But the problem is that even though you can throw in various kinds of stuff, it doesn't necessarily mean that everything that you can throw in there is actual real stuff. So for example, if you throw in negative mass, then yes, you will obtain a white hole solution. but we don't, as far as we know, negative mass doesn't exist. At least we've never seen it. So just because you can throw it in there as a mathematical term does not necessarily mean it exists.
Same for singularity.
A singularity is more of a boundary condition where if you have a particular solution to the equations where you like set up, how should I describe this? Like the equations are sort of like general prescription about how space might behave, making some assumptions. One of the solutions of these equations, when you take the most simple structure, implies that there would be a point where you would have infinite curvature and infinite energy density. But the problem is that we've never seen any infinities, and that typically means that it probably doesn't. It's probably something we're not understanding at the nanoscopic level.
Okay, so this is where I get confused now. So obviously this is wiki, take it with a grain of salt. So when you describe the possibility of a singularity and you describe the equations, you describe what's possible with the equations versus what's possible through observation. Anything that's talked about within a black hole, anything that's talked about before the Big Bang, is a hypothetical. It is a hypothetical scenario.
Yep.
So, in a sense, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because when I brought up my belief that a white hole is the beginning of our universe, or AE to me, the Big Bang, you kind of made it seem like it was ridiculous. But at the same time, when I go through all this stuff and I start really diving in, doing my dive in, and I come to something like this that says, in general relativity, a white hole is a hypothetical region of space-time and singularity. It cannot be entered from the outside, although energy, matter, light, and information can escape from it. Well, that's different. Opposite of a black hole, basically. In a sense, it is reverse of a black hole, from which an energy, matter, and light information cannot escape. White holes appear in the theory of external black holes. In addition to the black hole region, in the future, such a solutions as Einstein's field equations has a white hole region in its past. This region does not exist for black holes that have formed through gravitational collapse. However, nor are there any observed physical processes through which a white hole could be formed. So, when we talk when we talk about his field equations, Einstein's field equations, a white hole is part of those equations. It's a consequence of, right?
Yes, it's a thing you can obtain out of them. Yes.
Okay, so when I say a white hole, and I say it being what I consider the Big Bang, it's not far-fetched at all, actually. It's actually theorized by, or hypothesized? Theorized.
Yeah.
Theorized.
Hypothesized would be the scientific term, but yes, you can use a colloquial.
No. I want hypothesized. Yeah, it's a hypothesis. Okay. It's a valid hypothesis. The problem is until we find a dumbass that we can convince to go and check it out, we won't be able to see it. But I think it's more plausible than not being able to explain what happened before the Big Bang.
So, I mean, I guess you might look at it this way. The problem is that the current Big Bang cosmology does not rely on the kinds of gravitational or the kinds of space-time structures that are typical of a black hole or a white hole. So the only black holes that we know of, best as we can tell, for which we can actually I would say directly prove that they exist, is gravitational collapse black holes, which is what it tells you here, right here on this page, is that black holes which have originated from gravitational collapse do not have an eternal past. They had a star there, obviously, in the past. Therefore, white hole need not apply.
Yes.
And second of all, when you're talking about a white hole, it is a solution within a specific place in space-time, which basically just spews out matter and energy. But it already has to be existing somewhere in space-time, right? So it has to be basically positioned in a universe. The cosmological understanding of the Big Bang and the expansion, Big Bang expansion, is not a condition which occurred somewhere in space. It's not a case of like there was space and then there suddenly appeared a white hole that spewed out all the universe out. It's the Big Bang is a much more weird concept in that the Big Bang actually is the origin of space-time itself, or rather, it was the thing that inflated space-time itself. So it's not
No.
like we're living
Hang,
inside of a
hang on,
white
hang on,
hole.
hang on. I want to
Or
make I want to make this very clear because when you say it, it sounds very odd, and this does need to be. When you say the beginning of space time, it should be understood that even in science, it is our known space time. It is not the universe.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Well, if you want to get into like in multiverses and stuff, that kind of gets really weird at that point. But
No,
it
it's
is
right. No, it
a
doesn't. No, wait. No, it doesn't. We just got done talking about everything you agreed to with the existence of a hypothetical white hole. It leads credence to parallel universes. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Okay, let me explain here. The current understanding of the cosmological model of the Big Bang, or more specifically the inflation model of the Big Bang, is not that the Big Bang happened in a specific point in space. The Big Bang expansion model, or the inflation model, is that space itself, the Big Bang happened everywhere at the same time, so to speak. The universe as such, let me put it like this. If you wanted to point to where the location was of the Big Bang, it's everywhere around you. The entire universe was basically just compressed into a single spot, and it's the space-time itself which expanded rather than being ejected out of a white hole somewhere.
Problem.
So,
Problem. Big
next,
problem. Hang on. Big problem.
yes, I know.
Big problem.
That's
Okay. It is not in every direction.
yes, no, it is absolutely is.
Okay.
Not in every direction. Every point in space-time that we're currently at had the Big Bang in it.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
the idea.
Okay. So that means we've always been able to see the cosmic background.
No, what I mean is that it's not like you can point to some place in the sky and say that that's the place where we banged from. We didn't travel from there. The Big Bang was at every point in space.
Wait a minute. Now I'm even more confused because.
Yes, I know. It's like I said, it's a weird concept. That's why I'm trying to avoid talking about this because this is really weird.
Yeah, but we're going
and then you get into cosmic inflation, eternal inflation, the inflaton field, and some spontaneous symmetry breaking, and you get really bent out of shape.
Okay, so we're gonna look. This is a observational view of the cosmic background. Understand, and I get that so everyone gets what was being said. If we were looking in a telescope at this right now, we'd only be limited to the view of the telescope, so that's what happens here. But the whole fucking sky, everything you can see with your naked eye, this is happening. Except, or not everywhere. You would be able to directionally say that it's happening in that region at some point. This is where my questions start, but I'll get to that in a second. But to what you were saying, where we can't point at where it happened. As time goes, we should be able to, and from what I've read, there is their guesstimate of where it is, not as a single point, but a region. This is a perfect example of it. So the things that I've seen on this, that really dark spot, it doesn't show a point. It shows a region. To be as specific as I can, if you guys can see my little fucking mouse mark right in the middle of that dark patch, our observable universe is a dot on that. So you guys understand, when I say region, this isn't a point. But it is an area. So you would have at least a rough idea of where you're looking. And now this goes to why I'm asking this. When we look at expansion and we look at redshift and all that stuff, it's not looking at the fucking background. You can't look at the background and get that, right? Or you can.
You can, yeah.
Okay. So
I'm not sure if we're talking on the same basis, I would say. What the meaning of words gets really complicated, and then it just gets muddled up, I would say. I'm sorry, it's just this stuff is weird. Just look into things like the inflaton field, and then you'll understand that cosmic inflation has very little to do with white hole cosmology and like those kinds of things.
Okay, so when we look at this, hang on. So when we look at something like this, oh wait, there it is. This portrayal of it, when we look this way out towards the dark, right? I know we don't see that. I know. What do we see here? Do we see cosmic?
This diagram means something different. I believe you may be misunderstanding its meaning.
Well, this is showing the expansion, but it still shows exert of the cosmic background.
Sort of. How would I explain this? It's a little bit tricky. This is showing a time-based slice model of how the universe evolved over 13 billion years, give or take. And the notable thing there, what you're seeing at the start, the problem basically becomes, I can try and draw it for you. Let's see if this thing will let me. Okay. Let's see if this will let me select a screen.
Okay. Should be able to. I think it's the middle.
Yeah, there we go. Found it. I think I found it. Let's see. Does this work?
Yes, we see it. Make sure your Wi-Fi is off. Yep, Wi-Fi. Nope, turn your Wi-Fi off. Cool, we're good now.
Shitballs. Okay. Anyway. Cool. So the thing is, so the diagram looked something like that, right? Give or take. It was this is what they call the afterglow, the CMB. And there was a time scale on here. It's a 13.77 billion years. And there was a sort of a light flash on here. Anyway. So the idea was basically, the idea is that you're basically centered on this diagram. And this here would be a line of equal time. So if you could travel instantaneously to the entire universe, which means you'd have to have infinite velocity, that would require, so the problem basically is this, you can't travel instantaneously, obviously, right? So when you look back, the problem is that light travels to you and you have essentially a kind of a light cone back in time. And anything outside of that region here, so this region here is inaccessible to you right now. You can't see it. Inaccessible for the time being. But as you wait in time, so to speak, this region expands that you're going to be able to see.
Yeah, it enters the region of that cone, of that of your lines.
Yes, so that'll be this stuff inside of that purple cone there. That's stuff you can see. And the reason why we see the cosmic microwave background is basically this is essentially the speed of light, the propagation speed of light. And so obviously, as we look further out in distance, so this will be distance, then we automatically are also looking backwards in time. And the reason why you see the cosmic microwave background is that eventually this light cone intersects with the CMB. Yeah, just go away. And that's what you see. Now, in this case, the universe is drawn as having a finite extent, right? So this is sort of But the problem is that we do not know how far the universe actually goes. Like, maybe it's infinite. We don't know. Like, maybe this extent doesn't end anywhere.
I think they term it as they don't know if it's finite.
Yes. There's various concepts of like talking about it. It's infinite but bounded and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Or
that's the really odd part. So
an
it's
al an alternative way of looking at this would be thinking about like if you placed, think of it more like this. Like this is the scale of space. So it's not like there's no space outside of there. There's still stuff out here further out. It's just
you
if
just
you
don't
were,
know.
this is more, no, it's more like think of it like, instead of it being a boundary, think of it more like if you placed two particles here and here at this time, and you didn't move them or didn't do anything, then after this amount of time they'd be here, after this amount of time they'd be here, and so on and so forth, right? So it's
Yes.
just the expansion of space-time is carrying them apart, but it doesn't mean that there is no more space with
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
out here. There might very well be, it's just we can't access it, or rather it's not really conducive to having the diagram. So the idea is that when you're looking backwards in time, you can think of the CMB sort of like that, right? And the sort of notion that the Big Bang is just a single point in space is sort of misleading. It's really more, you can think of it more like a wall. And the CMB is just the last afterglow of the very hot and high energy condition of the universe.
Wait,
But it doesn't mean
wait. Doesn't general relativity state that the Big Bang was the beginning of a singularity? So it would be a point.
No, it wouldn't necessarily be a spatially bound condition. So it doesn't necessarily mean that, like, yes, you could say that essentially at this point here, at this place, the scale factor of the universe is such that any 2 points, regardless of where you place them, the distance between them is 0. Yes, that'd be a definition of a spatial singularity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in that diagram, this here line would really be a point, but you can't really place it onto a picture.
That doesn't have a background.
Yeah, no, the thing is, you can't just draw a point and say that therefore it isn't here, because in this
Wait. But the Big Bang
Mm-hmm.
did happen from a point, but we just can't see that.
Like I said, thinking about it as a point, like you're trying to think about it.
Okay.
You're trying to think probably.
How about I say this?
Mm-hmm.
The Big Bang happened at a region of the most densest. Is that better?
But that doesn't mean that there's any region outside of that. That's the problem. You can't look at it.
Exactly. Yeah. Because
you can't look at it like
that's,
here you have the universe, and here's a super highly dense place, and we call this place the Big Bang. It doesn't mean that. It means that this point is the entire all of the universe, and in fact, to play devil's advocate, the scale here is 0 meters.
Okay, but this is what fuels a lot of these discussions, because what you're doing is double speaking logically.
Yes, I know. That's why I don't really want to talk about it all that much, because this is really weird shit, and it gets.
Yeah, but you have to. The reason I say you have to is because when you try to explain to somebody the Big Bang is evidence of this, I can tell you right now that they are reading, because put it this way, nothing you said so far is above my pay grade, so to speak. I've read it, I've seen it, I understand everything you said. The problem starts is when someone that doesn't have is more looking for the negative of it. These things are the issue, because when I say what we're talking about right now is as relevant as, like, everything outside that cone that you made is as relevant and as realistic as a white hole creating a parallel universe.
Right.
So the issue starts, and this is more of a personal critique. The issue starts when my philosophical explanation of something is too far-fetched, but because what you're explaining is very common. This is not, you're not above really anybody's pay grade so far. This is very
I'm not
common
trying to be.
explanation. No, no, absolutely. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying that just in this basic, the idea that things can't be possible or possible are the same thing. You see what I'm saying? It's so when we're explaining the Big Bang to a diehard flat earther, and they know that science doesn't look at it the way you're trying to explain it, but at the same time they don't know. So that I don't know is where they're playing off of. That's where the fuel comes from. I wait,
Yeah.
like for instance, I've waited for you to have your explanation, knowing that the way science explains this situation, there is a point. There would be a point, but because we can't see it, and because mathematically we can't give you a geometric space location, it is a hypothesis still. It's still hypothetical.
I think the gap here between the two of you is, Sean, you're looking for what is possible, and Totoro is looking for what is plausible.
Yeah, probably like that. Yeah.
You know, and I think that's where the gap is. You know, yes, a lot of the stuff that you're saying is possible by mathematical standpoints, Sean, but the plausibility of it is very, very, very slim.
Well, here's the thing. If we started talking, if we say that, then it's the same discussion Einstein was having when he said, "Hey guys, I want you to fucking check this out. It's called a fucking black hole."
Right. So I think the conversation going forward, we need to decide: are we going to discuss what's possible or what's plausible?
So.
Well, hang on. That's my biggest gripe. That's the biggest point that I want to bring out then, because what happens is this: for him to explain what's plausible, he still has to explain what's not plausible, or he still has to add what's not plausible into it. When we were talking about that, the superposition and all that shit, that stuff is not observed ever, but it's a philosophical way of explaining it. Einstein's special, like, we don't see, like, it's not a position where we're seeing these things. They're hypotheticals, or they're hyper specific ways to explain something that can't be seen. Most of physics is this.
No.
Okay, what's wrong?
I don't want to poo-poo your understanding here, but there are speculative areas of physics and there are very solid areas of physics.
No. Okay, wait. I'm not saying all of physics. I'm sorry if I did. I didn't mean all of physics.
When we mean, by the way, that black hole stuff wasn't actually a solution of Einstein's, was by another guy.
Lorentz.
And the guy actually had, his solution was actually disputed by Einstein initially, for quite a while actually, because it was not yet ever observed. And to be honest, the state of cosmology back then was fairly in its infancy, so there wasn't a lot of stuff that we had understood back then. So Einstein and others had some issues with the solution there. Gradually, it took a few decades to actually become accepted as such. And I think even the first confirmation of a black hole was after Einstein's death, so he might never really accepted it.
Well, he did, but again, but that's the thing.
Pretty sure the Cygnus X1 was like 1961.
He would have had to have general relativity.
No.
Again, we said it. We already said it. The black hole, a singularity, a white hole are all consequences of his equations.
They are an application. So you're thinking about equations of relativity as if they were like just a thing that automatically, as soon as you crank the handle, it falls out. It doesn't. And there's a bunch of input variables into the equations. Things like the stress energy tensor, and basically stuff that explains how matter is distributed throughout space. And then the general relativity describes what the space time looks like. But you have to input these parameters at the start before it ever gives you an answer. And Schwarzschild was the guy who actually did it. I think it was 1920s or maybe 30s. Is the guy who came up with a solution for a no, it was in 1920s, fairly early on. He came up with the solution for a non-rotating black hole, where he basically said, what if there's a region of space where the curvature, where the amount of mass is such that the curvature causes the speed of light, causes the escape velocity to exceed the speed of light? What would happen then? And then basically that's when general relativity is going to give you an answer. Okay, this is what
A white
the
hole.
space would look like. No, it's actually a black hole, just a black hole.
Oh, okay, that's what you're saying.
And the problem was that at that time there was no such stellar object ever observed, and when the astronomers got a hold of that prediction, they said horseshit, because they had never seen it, and B said that it's you're talking about something that never emits anything, and therefore we can never observe it. Therefore, what the hell are you talking about? You're basically just talking about a hypothetical. And thirdly, there was an assumption that stars probably have some sort of a mechanism which would prevent them from collapsing into such high density regions. And the problem was basically that they hadn't quite had a good grasp of the underlying physics that would drive stellar collapse. So they basically had a sort of like, we don't know. It's a valid solution. Yes, if you input these parameters, it's a valid solution. However, these conditions have never been observed so far in nature, and we do not know how they're going to be achieved. Now, later on, once we better understood nuclear forces and much better understanding of like things like electron degeneracy pressure and that kind of stuff, which talks about like we've got a much more solid understanding about how matter holds together at this point, and I'm talking a much better understanding. Now we can with confidence say that Schwarzschild's solution is actually realistic. It is realized in the universe. If you have a star that is massive enough, it is an inescapable conclusion. And in like the 1960s, let's see, when was Cygnus X1 observed? 1963. Yes. Yeah. So that was the first observational, and that was 8 years after Einstein died. That was the first observational confirmation of a supermassive object that emits lots and lots of X-rays, which is consistent with a rotating black hole that is accreting matter and generating a whole hell of a lot of energy, very high energy X-rays in that process. Before that, we had basically just a bunch of conjectures. We thought that at that point, I think it was fairly sure that, okay, this is probably plausible, but 1917, 1919, no, there wasn't really much we knew about it. There was sort of it looks interesting.
I can have a question, and it's going to pull you out of your comfort zone.
Sure.
Because I get what you're saying, and I get how that works, where these things are theorized, and until it's observed, they do stay on the back burner on the science facts list, so to speak. My biggest gripe with what you're saying and what you're saying about these observation things is we will never observe the singularity. So my question stands to this. If you took singularity out of physics, what would happen?
If you're talking about a black hole singularity, yes, our current understanding is that we will never be able to observe it, or at least carry any form of information out of the black hole to be able to basically get it back to us to confirm it's either existing or not existing. Like if it stays a hypothetical, we're gonna just say tentatively we think it's there. We can't say for sure, and please don't go. We can for sure say if you try and venture into a black hole, you ain't never coming out.
Yeah.
At least if you're talking about like the Veritasium video where they were talking about spinning black holes and going effectively faster than the speed of light relative to some space-time region.
I'm not gonna. Yeah. We're gonna finish, but I just want you to see we are going to talk about that.
Sure.
Because
and those Crossfield-Zechariah diagrams. Yes. The problem for that is that even if you take the way that the diagrams there were structured, and that yes, they are valid solutions, what you're going to find if you follow through carefully is that Crossfield-Zechariah geometry does not allow you to return back to your originating universe.
It does not at all.
Yeah. So if you carry any information forward about the singularity or whatever, you're never coming back anyway. You might be exiting into another universe, but you're never telling us who stayed behind. So that's a problem.
Yes, it's a problem
And so
for the observation side of it, obviously.
yes, and so therefore the conclusion still stands that it's going to remain a hypothetical forever for
Yeah.
us anyway.
Okay, but again, if let's say singularity was not a thing, it was not Einstein didn't talk. No one talked about a singularity. Not talked about because we've never observed it. The structure of a black hole becomes completely unknown. The Big Bang. That's probably my biggest question. What the fuck happens when they stop saying singularity with the Big Bang?
You have to differentiate that. Just because they use the same word, it doesn't mean the same structure.
Oh, well, it is. It's just at different ends of the spectrum. One does this, the other does this, but they both still explain a singularity.
They think of it. It's a little bit difficult how to explain it to you. Singularity really means a condition where an equation, like the conventional term is called breakdown, but really what it means is you've reached a boundary condition which you cannot traverse. So for example, depending on your coordinate systems, that was in that Veritasium video, there is a coordinate singularity at the event horizon of a black hole. Now, we do absolutely know that that black holes have event horizons. So what gives? And there, the resolution is basically there is a coordinate transformation which you can do to avoid the singularity. The singularity described at the Big Bang is a very different kind of boundary condition to the infinite density gravitational collapse of a black hole singularity. So that is another type of mathematical singularity which we do not yet know how to resolve. Now, it is possible that there is some physics, some extremely strange physics at these boundaries that gets rid of the singularity, basically resolves it such that our mathematics does not break down, and we can't sort of predict what happened before or what the structure or what the physics that was acting there was, but we just don't know what the physics is. And yeah, maybe one day we will. And it would probably require a quantum mechanical understanding of exactly how gravity acts at nanoscopic scales at very high curvatures.
Now, I know how we will. Now we're going to do the part I know you hate. Okay, so you see this, right?
Your opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, fuck, it's so my opinion, I don't even have evidence for it, but it's my opinion. Okay, so we to this point, we're in understanding, right? We're in our universe. We are traveling towards a black hole.
Stop.
Okay.
Already wrong.
Oh, wait. Okay. Wait. No, you're right. Nope. I know exactly what you're going to say. Let me fix it. So if we'll say, let's start here. We're going to start here to make my life easier in this situation. Right. It's actually something like this.
Even more steep towards up.
Okay.
Because what the thing is, 45 degrees on that diagram, there you go. 45 degrees on that diagram is traveling at the speed of light.
Yes. Okay. So yeah. Okay, I get it. And because we can't. Okay. So actually, it's
we currently do not know if that is possible. We haven't observed it so far. Yes, like that'll be traveling at sublight velocities. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So that means that this dotted line. Make it different. If I do that, everything will be different. That is event horizon.
Yes.
And once you've entered the event horizon, the mythical place that we can't observe, that it does this. Actually, it does this because it is traveling at the speed of light at that point.
No, not quite. You'd remain at that 45-degree angle. The speed of light condition here is more you traveling transversely across those coordinate grids. And yes, that'd be a speed of light travel. But the thing about why this is an inescapable geometry is because even if you turn back and try to escape, the maximum speed you can go is the speed of light, and you
So
notice
you sit still right here, or actually it'd be down
you can't
here.
you can't sit still. That's the thing. You have to travel upwards, and your choice is either between 45 degrees left, straight up to 45 degrees right, but nothing else. Yeah, that's the maximum you can go the other way, and you see that you never escape it.
Okay. Now here is the part that I get
Okay.
this off real quick. Okay. So we've talked. So these lines are is essentially talking about time, space time, and the speed of light and how it travels towards
Yes,
the black hole.
Yeah, the vertical lines. So the lines going up and down are lines of progressing time, and the lines going horizontal across are lines of constant position, or are lines of position at equal time.
Yeah. So it's essentially everything is always doing one of these. Due to space, in a sense.
At any given time, you could draw a line following one of those horizontals, and that'd be the entire extent of the universe. Yes.
Yeah.
At
Okay.
one
Yeah.
point
So
in time,
okay.
yes.
So if the Big Bang happened, it would have happened here.
No, it would happen at the bottom, at the very bottom of the diagram, on the point of that. Yeah, there, right at the bottom there. That'd be the point of infinite past time and infinite past space.
Okay. I get it now. I see where I am off. Okay. So this would be Big Bang.
Right.
And we are progressively doing this.
Pretty much, yes.
And then we see a black hole enters, and it forces, basically the light travels to it, and that's light speed. That's what light speed does through its existence till it hits a black hole.
You would be, in this case, if you were following that vertical, you're actually not moving through space. You're just moving through time. This would be being stationary.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Okay. So, but let's go back to. So I want to go to this.
So if you were in the infinite past and you started traveling towards the black hole at the speed of light, you'd be following that dotted line at the diagonal, 45 degrees. And yes, you would be basically skimming the white hole event horizon and going right past the black hole event horizon. And at that point, you might call that, okay, we've entered the parallel. In this case, you'd just be right at the event horizon. But eventually, there's no escape out of that. You'd either stay at the black hole event horizon until eternal forward time, or you would have to cross into the black hole and go into the singularity at the top.
Okay, so I'm going to try to do this. Work with me, because I'm not going to be exact, but I'm going to try to explain this.
Okay.
I'm going to explain how we get here. This is my conclusion. That's where I'm going to try to get to. Okay. It's going to have to go beyond physics. I just want to preface that now, because I just don't want you to have a heart attack.
Okay.
Just work with me here. Okay. So if this is the Big Bang, this is the white hole. For me, all of our universe is the. Remember how you were saying it's a wall? For me, just hear me out. I know. Hear me out. The Big Bang is this. I just hear me out. That's the Big Bang. I know it's not correct in the way where I'm pointing. Just hear it out. This is the Big Bang, right? All the matter that came from here, that got there through here. Through. It'd be this one. So everything that enters here and gets to the singularity at this point, and this is why I said this earlier, because the influence of the singularity is unfathomable. Like, there is no way to describe the gravitational influence that the singularity has. So to me,
it'd be infinite. Yeah, that's the solution.
Yeah. So for me, the speed of light and the physics behind the speed of light no longer work here at the singularity. So if something, by the time it gets here, let's say just for bullshit, a pebble makes it past the event horizon, once it hits the singularity, I believe that will not make it. That will not have enough mass to do a damn thing inside the situation. But what I do think is when everything else, say a star, because stars are probably the most important building block to a universe or a galaxy, solar system, everything. What happens is by the time they get here, their mass is so extreme we can't even give it a number, that it is actually capable of reaching beyond the speed of light. Now, here we go. So now, an object has reached the singularity. What it's doing, remember, because everything crosses this line and makes its way to that singularity. If it hits that singularity at this faster than the speed of light, it makes it to here. And this is going backwards. And instead of going back, because it can't go back in time, we don't do that. And time isn't a variable. And I can hear you. I can hear you frustrating. And since time isn't a variable in a black hole, it's able to create its own Big Bang.
I will not deny that I am making faces right now. And they are faces of pain.
Okay. Now, I know every inch of your frustration right now. But if physics wasn't bounded by the speed of light, is what I'm saying possible?
Maybe. I don't know.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to take that as a self-proclaimed win, only because I know every festering in your body wants to go, shut the fuck up, Sean.
No. I mean, I would love for travel faster than the speed of light to be possible. I mean, I want Star Trek. I want to go to another star system in my lifetime. That'd be awesome. But I just I'm a fan of Star Trek. I love it. It's great, and I do rewatch it every few years from start to finish. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to therefore say that the Enterprise and Captain Picard are something we absolutely should be able to build, because, like, I'm going to be honest, I don't think it is possible technically, or physically.
Yeah,
but
it
doesn't mean that I'm going to say that it is fundamentally forever. Maybe there is some physics that we do not yet understand that allows for it.
Oh, well,
we just haven't observed it, and we have no framework for it.
I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of physics that we don't know or haven't observed yet or figured out yet.
Yeah.
I've always said this. I think, and this is 100% true in my brain, and I think you'd agree with me. We know less than 1% about physics.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
So
sure. If you want to put a number on it, let's say that's the case, yes.
So in the sake of the 99%, my hypothesis on parallel universes could be looked at as correct.
Okay.
Seriously, though. Seriously. Right? I am in a ballpark. I am staying within the realms of reality. I understand we can't reach faster than the speed of light, but we also don't know if we can or not, realistically. We just figure that's our bound. That's our boundary right now.
Currently, we do not have any framework that would allow for that to be the case. So for the time being, I'm going to say tentatively it is impossible, but it doesn't mean that there isn't some theoretical framework that might allow for it. And by the way, when we say speed of light, we mean speed of light travel through space-time. There are hypotheses that allow for faster than light travel as long as it's the space-time doing the traveling, not us. Like, not through space-time.
Well, see, again, so
it's strange.
I understand it's strange, but this is what confuses me. This is where Sean's confusion starts. Because I hear me say my hypothesis on how this works. And then I hear you say something about how science thinks about it. And I'm hearing the same conjecture. So I don't understand where, as far as I'm concerned, the only response to what I have explained is, if possible, yes. But at the same time, that should be the exact same response for singularity. The singularity. Okay, that's all. I just wanted to hear whether or not I was correct
Um,
in my analysis of this, because
mm,
that again, that most of science is what I just did.
um, not well,
Mm?
okay, whatever.
Mm?
I don't want to. I don't want to
Oh
argue
no no
about it
oh no
anymore, to be honest.
oh come on. Don't do that. When we get philosophical, you do this. Don't do this to me.
Sort of, Shun. What you're doing is sort of, kind of what science does. Yes.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
I mean,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So if you want to say it like that, what you're doing is kind of sort of how a
Hang on,
scientific hypothesis
hang
starts.
hang on 1 second. I got my dogs are barking. Got to see what it is.
Sure.
All right, coast is clear. Sorry about that.
No problem. So the way you're thinking about things is how a hypothesis starts, but it also needs to then be anchored into what we can show or what we have based our idea on. So literally, it's just the first step of would it be possible to travel faster than the speed of light, let's say?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to ask yourself, okay, so what does the current physics say about it, and is there a way we can hack it in, so to speak? But a that then becomes an investigation that goes through the theories in detail. So you look for places where that might be possible. I wouldn't say that's like not necessarily in the equations, but that's usually how it's done. Because the equations are designed to describe the structure of the universe and the laws that govern it. So what you're looking for is a space in the laws that will allow for something like that to happen. Like theoretically, for instance, there is a possibility for things to travel faster than the speed of light. There is a solution for it.
Mm-hmm.
There were hypothetical particles for it. If you heard the term tachyon, that's
Yes.
literally what it means. It's faster than speed of light particle. But the problem is that for tachyons to exist, they have to have some very strange properties. Notably, they have to have, I think, negative energy, which is something we've never observed.
Yes.
Second of all, they would be traveling backwards in time. And third of all, they'd be speeding up the less energy they have, and they'd be traveling infinitely fast at zero energy. So they'd be literally doing the opposite of what we know with conventional particles, where when they have zero energy, zero extra energy above their rest energy, they would be stationary, and infinite energy to reach the speed of light from zero. Tachyons would behave the other way around, except that they would be accelerating the less kinetic energy they have, and in order to reach the speed of light, they'd have to have infinite energy. So they could also never reach the speed of light. They could never become subluminal, right? Sublight speed. They would always have to travel faster than the speed of light. And that's what I'm talking about. Is you can hypothesize about these things. You can say that okay, this specific equation allows for this kind of a solution, but then okay, let's go and look. Let's see what that would imply in terms of stuff that we could observe, and let's go look for it. If you don't find it, you have to conclude that it doesn't exist. At least
But
not in
that,
the way, not in the constraints that you've like deduced.
well, not in the constraints that we've tried, right? Because the this is
Well,
exactly. I mean, the
it's
idea
the
that
known of
they
the
but
known laws
they
of physics, the known laws of physics that you're going to use. You have to start making predictions from something, right? You can't just make stuff up. In terms of like I'm just going to say that tachyons can accelerate through the speed of light by some mechanism. Well, okay, that violates both special and general relativity, and you're just going to say, well, whatever, I don't care. At that point, you're not operating in science; you're just operating in cuckoo land. So you
yeah,
have
but
to have
doesn't
some sort of an explanation for how it would be based, if
but
that makes sense.
yes, but that just made yeah. But when I hear that, that just means that they're just nothing but contradictions in science.
Not necessarily. We've never observed tachyons.
Okay,
So
but yet when they describe like neutrinos,
neutrinos are not superluminal.
yeah, but don't they think those have tachyon or
No,
would
no, 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 no.
would act like it?
No. Tachyons are a hypothetical particle which would only go faster than the speed of light.
Yes,
And
but
they are a
let me
valid
find it.
solution possible, but there might be mechanisms, there might be other physical mechanisms that prevent their formation. Therefore, they simply do not occur in nature.
Okay, here it is. In special relativity, it is impossible to accelerate an object to the speed of light, or for a massive object to move as fast as the speed of light. However,
Yes.
it might be possible for an object to exist which always moves faster than light. The hypothetical elementary particle with this property are called tachyons or tachyonic
Yes.
particles.
Yes.
Attempts to quantize them failed to produce faster than light particles, and instead illustrated that were presence leads to an instability. Various theories have suggested that neutrinos might have a tachyonic nature, while others have. Okay, so that's just in the argument of theoretical physics, basically.
Yeah, they're basically just trying out different approaches about how they might get the effect. But again, those are all based on known physics, and they're basically just saying, hey, could we somehow get this into the equations here somehow, maybe by introducing a term. The thing is, when you're building a modified theory of something that will allow something like tachyons to exist, you have to put it in as either extra terms or some modification of the existing terms, but you must not break what it already works well with, right? So you can modify it slightly, you can sort of push on it a little bit. It's sort of like a bridge, right? You can put an extension onto it if you want to have some effect, but you can't make the thing collapse. Right, because then you know that you're going down the wrong path.
So okay, so I see. This is confusing. So, if general relativity states that nothing can surpass anything with mass, such as speed, blah blah blah. What? So the capability of ever reaching the speed of light, is that possible?
No, not for anything with mass.
Almost reaching mass or almost reaching speed of light.
You can get as close to the speed of light as you want. That is permitted, but never the speed of light itself. Never c exactly. And there's a corollary on this. Particles which do not have any mass, like photons, have no choice but to go at the speed of light. They have no other speed. That's why the speed of light is constant.
Ah, I see.
So it's
Okay.
sort of it's sort of like, you can think of it like this. Like, imagine if the amount of mass determines how much push you need to give something to accelerate it. And there's an effect that says, or there's an effect that you can think of it like this kind of model, that the faster something goes, the harder you have to push it to get it to accelerate. And the closer you are to the speed of light, the higher the cost becomes, until at the speed of light becomes infinite. But if something has zero mass, you basically need a zero push to get it up to the speed of light.
Okay.
Therefore, no push is required to get photons to the speed of light. Therefore, they always travel at the speed of light. That's sort of like just a simple mental model. It's not quite accurate to the math, but it sort of is something that you can think about it like that.
If there was something that could surpass the speed of light, it would be a photon. Wait, here, hang on. This is my thought process. It would be a photon. But if a photon reached beyond the speed of light, we wouldn't be capable of seeing it?
Possibly, but it would also have to have negative mass, which I don't think is the case. We've never observed it anyway.
Yet. Viva the gravitons.
Gravitons are most definitely very massive particles and travel at either at the speed of light or below it. If they are massive, then they're going to be less than speed of light.
But again, a graviton.
If they're massless, then.
If and this is one of the biggest ifs, if the graviton were to be discovered, it would have that negative mass as well. It would have a negative, because every particle has this.
I don't know.
You should look it up. It's going to happen. It will be probably in 1,000 years, but we'll find it.
Okay.
It is my
So currently,
cause of gravity. Cause.
In the current understanding of the standard model, graviton is massless. Therefore, it would be traveling at exactly the speed of light, no faster, no slower.
Yes.
So therefore, it couldn't go faster than the speed of light.
Well, no. I'm not saying a graviton would. I'm saying that if gravitons were discovered, it would the negative mass, negative energy you're talking about would then be possible. It would be known. It would be known possible.
Yeah, I don't think that's what any theory currently implies, but
look,
I don't know. Think about it. Maybe work it out. Maybe you'll be the one who discovers it.
No, don't even do that. That's fucked up, man. You know damn well I'm not.
Okay, maybe you will provide a theoretical framework that allows for it. Although I'm afraid that you will need about 10 years of advanced physics to do it. Because you first have to understand everything that came before you can start extending it.
Yes, and I've done that. I'm genius or Einstein got nothing on my genius. Okay, so where is it?
So modest.
What? Okay, graviton, a theory of quantum gravity. The graviton is a hypothetical quantum. No, that's not. Why does that not seem right? That's not what I'm looking for.
What are you looking for at the you're looking at the Wikipedia page, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it pretty much says there.
I don't feel like that's it. It is.
Yeah, there's no current complete quantum field theory, but in the current string hypotheses, let's call them what they are, not theories. String hypotheses, gravitons emerge as massless.
Yes.
So that means they would go at the speed of light, no faster.
Okay. But again, it would have. I want to find it before I say it, because it would have there would be then a hypothetical anti-gravity, anti-particle, negative charge. There you go.
I don't know.
So it says energy and wave. While gravitons are presumed to be massless, they would still carry energy. So does any other quantum particle, photon energy, gluon energy, are also carried by massless particles?
Yes. Photons, all that stuff are massless, but they do carry energy. So they are not definitely not negative energy. And in the current hypothetical model, the graviton is itself its own antiparticle. So therefore, it basically has no antiparticle.
But
so there is no anti-gravity. Now there was. So
but it'd be. But you'd be able to. But you at that point you'd be able to manipulate that gravity. Therefore, it would show itself.
Just because you've discovered a particle does not mean you can manipulate some sort of a field that is associated with that particle.
It'd be the beginning of it. It'd be the beginning of it.
No, well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I heard that. You said, yeah, maybe. I heard you agreed with me.
There was sort of a more of a, yeah, sure. Because we've discovered the Higgs boson,
taking it as a win.
And that was some 50 years after it had been first hypothesized.
Mm-hmm.
And the Higgs boson and the Higgs field and the Higgs mechanism is what gives matter its mass. But it doesn't mean that we can change the mass of something. As near as we can tell, mass is an intrinsic property of matter. Like you can't get rid of it.
I get that.
You can convert it to energy, but that's sort of the same thing at that point.
But like you just said, time will tell.
Might be a very long time, yes.
Yeah. Oh, I said I'm not sure if you heard me, but I said 1,000 years.
You said 1,000 years, yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And in 1,000 years, I think I hope
we shall reconvene and see where we stand.
Oh,
How about
man.
that?
I agree. Absolutely. We'll make it a three-way date. It'll be fucking amazing.
Absolutely. So put it on your calendar.
I just did.
Thank you. Be sure to send me the invite.
I will. Absolutely. I just got to find a venue, see what system I'm going to be on. I don't know if I'm going to be using StreamYard and OBS then.
Oh, you're probably still going to be running the same computer you got right now, so considering how frequently you
Lord,
upgrade.
yes.
Oh, low blow. Fuck. It's funny because it's fucking true.
It was
God,
warranted. It was
that was
100%
good.
warranted.
That was kudos to you. That was good. That's good. He's chuckling the fuck out of it right now. Well deserved too.
Probably, yeah, maybe.
All right, kids. I think we're done for the day. I've been shut down enough. I'm just kidding. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I do appreciate it, Totoro.
I apologize. I try not to be too much of an ass.
No, you are just the perfect amount of ass. Because no, sir, I'm being so honestly serious about it because it makes me realize what I'm thinking. What the fuck was that? Is what I think is what I'm thinking. So far out there that I need to come back a little bit. And this is how my thinking process and understanding works. Is it so far out that I need to come back a little bit, or am I on a path? It helps. And again, it doesn't. So people that are listening, oh, he's just listening. No. Trust me, my opinion of things does not change by Totoro telling me I'm wrong and explaining something. It just helps me maneuver my thinking, and more importantly, it does show me the things that you have to realize as a human when it comes to what you think you know and what you think is real. I say that because of this. We went through today a lot of things that are very much so hypothetical. The singularity is hypothetical. On paper, in the math version of it, it's there. You unmuted. Did I say something wrong?
No, I just wanted to agree. Yeah, it's you can think of it as a hypothetical construct right now. Yes.
Yeah, and a lot of the things that I was talking about, I'm not poo-pooing science. I'm just talking. Well, I'm poo-pooing science for me. The things that I talked about when it comes to reaching another dimension, a parallel universe, I feel runs along the same lines because this isn't something that I have come up with. I know that because the diagram that I'm using, this wonderful little diagram, I didn't make this.
Yeah.
Physics is trying to figure out the ifs, the ands, the buts, and hows, all that stuff. And I think I'm just part of that. Obviously not qualified to really do it, but I think it's healthy that I do it because it is the part. It is the part that's important. I think the most important, and I just think a lot of people, this is more of a retaliation for that, the computer common asshole. I think people like Totoro here, who is very smart, and more importantly than smart, understands a lot of this. I feel like without knowing it, you use the same I thinks in science that I do. Science does. Better. It's science, but you defend it. I've always said this. I think that a lot of people have more confidence in science than science has in itself. That's why science has theoretical science. That's why science has applied science. That's why science has engineered science, because there are different aspects of it that do different things to explain things. I think without the theoretical physics, most of what we have now wouldn't exist. Without philosophy, theoretical physics wouldn't be a physics. And I think that's the important part. I think the constraint that we're holding to the speed of light is our understanding, not ability, or not natural. No, that doesn't seem right either. It just seems like we've put a limitation on it and acted as if that is the limitation. Einstein said nothing can go faster, but even over time, we definitely know that stuff can. We just don't know how to do it. Because it, like you were saying before, and I have to concede to, 90% of what I'm saying may only be math and not observable or possible in our understanding of it. But I think if it can be done math-wise, it gives leg to it being observable. It's just whether or not we have or not. I hope you agree with that. With my closing out on it.
Cool. Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end this out. Tex, are you here? Did you want to end the stream by saying anything? You were quiet for the second half. I knew you were just listening.
Oh no, I was playing chess in the background.
Good. You need to keep practicing, and soon I will teach you the ways. Tutorial, do you play
the ways.
Tutorial, do you play chess?
Teach me the ways.
Jesus.
I do not play chess. No, I'm more of a weirdo. I play Go on occasion, if
Oh,
ever.
I also play Go.
Oh, you guys are
Oh, there you
such
go, then.
nerds. Learn to play
I'm not very good at Go.
I need you
Same.
to learn to play chess so that we
At
can
least
play and I can feel superior at something.
Go is easier. Well, well, the rules are simpler, but
Getting territory is
the
a pain
skill
in the
ceiling
ass.
is a lot higher.
I don't even know what Go is.
It's originally a Chinese game played on a 19 by 19 board with black and white stones, and the object of the game is to capture territory.
Oh my god, I think I know what you... Oh my god, you guys are such fucking nerds. Jesus.
Thank you.
Oh my god, I know exactly. Okay, so I know exactly what this is, and this is such a weirdo thing. Okay, hang on. Okay, so this game is so.
Yep, that's the one.
It's so based in skill that this is the game. Now, hear me out. This is the game, and I know you guys are going to agree. This is the game that they basically use the ladder of whether or not AI and humans are in the same ballpark. Like, didn't they have a fucking huge ass fucking tournament, and there's like only one guy who figured out how to start beating AI, and then they stopped using it?
I'm not really sure.
Okay, so look it up.
This game was for the longest time difficult for AIs to play, but it's fucking finally caught up to us and beat us good. So even the highest Go grandmasters are currently weaker than the best AIs out there.
Yeah, so look this up. This is actually there's a documentary about this. It's called Go. Look it up. It's called Go. Fucking A. I just remembered. But it is the experimental testing of AI. And they used this game to go against humans, and it at a certain point it started doing what you said, where it just decimated people, made people look stupid, probably made people think stop playing the game. It was one Go master that figured it out. I think the situation was if you would do a unlogical move in the middle of the game, the AI couldn't figure out why you did the move, and then would restructure its game, ultimately not structuring it correctly.
Possibly, yeah. I could imagine if you stepped outside of its patterns that it expects, then you would throw the thing off. I'm not really sure how they work.
Yeah,
all I know is that a few years ago, some neural nets finally beat us.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
I was in a Go club in high school.
Oh, there you go. There's a nerd. I was in a Go club during college, so yeah.
Let me see if I can find it.
And we actually did started playing Go in high school. Yeah.
Okay, so this is not the documentary. 6 years.
That's where Lisa Dole got his ass beat by AlphaGo.
Yes.
That was years ago.
Yes,
Go ahead. Yeah, that was that was the time when we finally sort of had our faces caved in.
Mm-hmm.
Because
It was
afterwards, I think it was 6 games or something like that, and Lisa all said that basically it felt like playing against a complete wall. Like he had absolutely not a faintest chance. I think he might have won one based on some
yes.
technicality.
No, that was it. So
Hmm.
this is not the full documentary, so I can't find it. But
And by the way,
that was a situation where here it is, right here. I'll put the link in the chat. I'm definitely not going to try to
cool.
watch it.
Thank you.
But yeah, the situation ended up happening where he figured out. I'll put it in both chats. He figured out that if you played an inconsistent move, that was unlogical, because that's what the AI is basically running off of, every possible move. But if you make a move that doesn't make sense, it throws the AI way the fuck off.
Possibly, yeah, could be.
Where's my chat at? But yeah, I will never play that game, and F you guys if you play that.
Oh, come on, it isn't. It's not hard to
Sean
learn
won't-
to be honest.
Sean won't play nothing with me anymore. He won't play checkers. He won't play Connect Four. He won't play Scrabble.
Only chess.
I'm gonna learn. I won't play her chess. She's not ready for that yet.
Okay. Okay, Sean, you want some fighting words about Go?
Yes.
Go is the chess, as chess is the checkers.
Damn, that was deep.
So imagine playing on a Go board imagine it's like playing 4 or 5 games of chess at the same time on the same board.
Have you guys seen? Well, tutorial probably doesn't, because he doesn't give a fuck. Wait, you've seen Big Bang, right? I know you probably have. All nerds do.
Big Bang Theory?
The TV show.
series?
Yeah.
I stopped watching about the 4th or 5th season, something like that. But yes, I know about it.
Well, for anyone,
Quite well.
Go watch Young Sheldon. It's even better. Anyway, in the Big Bang, they had a 4D chess board. I want one of those so fucking bad. Oh my god.
Was it one of those like from Star Trek?
Kind of.
Okay.
But it was It was a physical thing though. Like they had it on their table. It was
Gotcha.
badass. It is a real thing. How to play it? No fucking clue in the world. But it is a real thing. But yeah,
cool.
I got things to do today. Today was actually a good long stream. I enjoyed today. I think we're going to do that quite often, Tex, and I'm going to force you to do it with me, where we review. Did you get part of that? Did you see that tutorial?
The what?
The Flat Earth Sean stuff?
I saw a piece of it here. I joined there in the chat on the stream about, I don't know, like 10 minutes after I started watching the stream here. So I saw pieces of it, yeah.
Okay, so if you don't know, now you're going to know. A regular thing I'm going to start doing, and I realized how I'm going to do it and how I need to do it. So we'll do it here, where we're going to start reviewing my Flat Earth content when I was a Flat Earther, because I still have it. It's all on my channel. It starts going over, we went over a few things, like some NASA stuff that I had talked about, some direct laser stuff. But what I'll end up doing is we'll probably like do a little piece where we'll talk about certain live streams, and we'll listen to it, and we'll talk about how ridiculous I sounded. But on the other side of it, I'm going to definitely start clipping a lot of the live streams and doing an upload. So like I may clip the 3 that I showed today and make a shorter one, more watchable, I guess, and narrate it a little bit, and then put an upload. So that will be part of the debunking Sean the Flat Earther series, and then I'll just bring it up on the live stream so people can see the progression of me from the live stream side of it. But I think a lot of people will enjoy that. I had fun. Tex, did you have fun doing that?
Yes. Sorry, I'm eating pretzels. But yes, I enjoyed that.
Okay, so we're definitely going to start doing that then. I think people enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I'm done rambling, so we're gonna take off. Tex, you said your last words. Totoro, did you want to say something before we get the hell out of here? 30 seconds or something?
Let's talk more about aviation. That's my jam.
We can. Absolutely. There's actually, I have a lot of questions and a lot of things to press your buttons about aviation.
Rock and roll.
Cool. But we'll do it soon. We'll do it soon. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself out of here and say about 30 seconds of something and then get the fuck out of here. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I'll message you in a little bit, Tex. Okay, so guys, thank you. I do appreciate you guys being here. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the Flat Earth me. I did. It was fun. I will do a lot more conversation about the hypocrisy of science. I do feel that it needs to be talked about. I don't like the for sure absolute conversation people have, because a lot of people are trying to figure it out, and when you overcomplicate it, it gets complicated. I know it is, but at the same time, I was able to understand it and learn, so I know others are. You just got to figure out a way to do it, right? And I feel that I'm asking the right questions to Totoro. I feel that I'm questioning and hypothesizing correctly. I know the stuff I was saying about fucking parallel dimensions is not backed by anything. I get that. I get that. I have a very limited understanding of these things to even build these blocks to get to that point. I understand that too. But at the same time, if it wasn't for the fact that I have these questions, I have these wonders, and I have these odd ways of getting to a conclusion, is the reason I'm here today. And I don't regret it at all. I don't. If there was anything ever in this world that I regretted less, is everything that I've put into doing this, for myself and for other people that try to understand things or just get a point of view from that is different from the fucking what do you call it, echo chambers of other places. I think pushing back is why we advance in everything. Every single thing is advanced through push, questioning, doubting, all the above. I think it's important. I'm done ranting. I fucking love you guys. Thank you guys for being here. I will be streaming. I want to say I will do a random probably stream in the weekend. I don't know exactly when, but it'll be Monday for 100% sure. Will be the normal stream, and we'll just kind of just play it by ear and have fun. I'll do the open panel thing. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Peace.
Disagrees with experiment, it's wrong. And that simple statement is the key to science. It doesn't make a difference how beautiful your guess is. It doesn't make a difference how smart you are, who made the guess, or what his name is. If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong.
Yeah, look, they said that I couldn't do it, so I went and did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, I've been on a what? Mission. Go. Okay, let's get it. Got a little time on my hands like a wristwatch. I don't got time for the brakes and a pit stop. Race through the gridlock, take it like Chris Rock. Right to the chin, still win. Heavy metals like Slipknot. Got the driving, I got tunnel vision. I just hit my stride the way I run the business. I've been making paper like I'm Dunder Mifflin. See the end game, I got one division. Look, I don't ever bother with a critic. Hit him with a chronicle of Riddick. Boom, bottle full of Ritalin. I hit him with a little bit of riddle me this, riddle me that. My bad, fell asleep at the gas. No time to wait though. Elon Musk, I'm trying to bankroll. New Tesla just cause I say so. Electric whip like Ivan Van Gogh. I just did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, I've been on a mission. Okay, let's get it.
I've been on a mission like totally spice. I'm a baddie, she bad, but she totally nice. Nails are blue and her toes feel like white. They complete me, make sure that the soul for my leg. He knew it for sure, but